Sports mix. Yeah. You in the mix, rockin' with Kenny. When it comes to news, man, they got plenty. You in the sports mix with Kenny. News and knowledge. A lot of dope techniques make kids become scholars. You need to tune in. A lot of hot topics. When it comes to sports, Kenny sound like a prophet. You in the mix, man. You in the mix. Plus, he keep you up on all the hottest trends. Plus, you never know who he has as a guest. So grab a cold one, man, and just tune in. You in the mix, man. You in the mix. You in the mix. Sports mix. You in the mix. Rockin' with Kenny. When it comes to news, man, they got plenty. You in the mix, man. You in the mix. You in the mix. Sports mix. You in the mix. You rockin' with Kenny. When it comes to news, man, they got plenty.
The sports mix in the building. What's up, fellas?
All right.
What's going on, man?
Right, all
Sports
right.
mix. The playoff edition. The number one seed edition. You know, the more than likely MVP edition.
It's a wrap.
You know, it's that version of the sports mix, the last show of the year 2023. Going to send 2023 out with a bang like the Ravens did today.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. I was great ghosting away. I'm gonna come back to that because y'all know I got a little petty in me, so I'm gonna hold off. I'm gonna hold off on my petty for now, you know. But happy holidays to everybody. First off, you know, I know that we in the holiday season. We wrapping up the year of 2023. Second full year of the sports mix into year 3 right now. Looking to continue growing the show, keep doing big things with the show. Got my fellas with me, my man Dino.
Yes, sir.
And CB Charles Brooks from the Brooks Blackboard. How y'all brothers doing, man? Everybody good?
Doing pretty good, man.
Yeah, man.
Is the bear cold today?
Oof, man. I think for Ravens fans, man, the whole holiday season been real good.
Yeah, been pretty. Yeah, Christmas was really good.
Wow. Yeah.
You know, Christmas was really good. I mean, even Christmas night. You know, yes. I mean, how much better can you get? What better Christmas gift could you get than that? You know, and then to follow it up, you know, on New Year's Eve, taking the year out with a bang.
Yeah.
What was the final score?
Oh, the 56 to
56 to 19, maybe?
19, something like that.
Something like that.
Damn.
Yeah, what Lamar had a perfect quarterback rating.
Perfect quarterback rating. Had another Jackson 5.
A Jackson 5 on him.
Yeah.
Look,
touchdown passes.
Look, they had a Jackson 5. Even goddamn Randy threw a touchdown today.
Ain't that some shit?
You know
Brought Randy out.
Oh, Randy threw a touchdown. On the bongos. He threw a touchdown at the end of the game and shit.
Yeah.
God damn. Well, hey, what more could you ask for? What more could you ask for, man? Ravens, you know, we had to fight, you know, with these fans, these so-called fans, you know, Ravens fans, or what the Ravens would or wouldn't be. You know, I remember people talking about Cincinnati, early Pittsburgh, even, and Cleveland. You know, Ravens might be lucky to be 3rd or 4th in the division. And you know, they probably won't make the playoffs, and Lamar won't even finish the season. You know, he hadn't played a whole season in 3 years, and all this foolishness we heard all summer, all fall, every game they lost, which is only 3 times. 3. How you know, Lamar's not a winner, and I just don't see this team going far, and all of the nonsense, man, we heard all year. And I got some receipts. You know, I'm just waiting for the day to post my receipts in some of my because they've been quiet. I don't see those same people talking, you know, after all these wins, and especially at, you know, the 49ers were supposed to destroy us and San Francisco.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went there and then disposed of them. You know, Purdy didn't even want to play no more. You know, man, I'm hurt. He looked good today, though. I saw some highlights. He looked good today.
Who they play today?
The Redskins or the Commanders.
Oh,
I'm sorry,
right.
Commanders.
Transformers. The Transformers.
Yeah. He looked really good. He looked like a MVP against them. You know, he looked like an MVP candidate against the Commanders. You know, the Dolphins. You know, they was. I mean, if we lose this game, they gonna be the number 1 seed, and you know, this is a tough road game. I mean, it's a tough game for the Ravens, and yeah, okay. 56 points later?
56.
Five touchdowns from LJ.
That's a big number.
Yeah, come on, man. I can't wait. I can't wait to I'm gonna have to do a special show. I might have to go somewhere and get some of them phrases and some of that stuff he was saying, print it out and put it behind me. Have it as my backdrop and have it in bold and all that stuff.
You ain't got enough room.
Oh my goodness, man. Oh my goodness.
It was so many.
And I'm waiting for him to say something. Something. I mean, come on, man. They ain't lost since what, Cleveland? So I know some of them people, man, they be waiting. They can't wait for the Ravens to lose the game so they had something to talk about.
Who do you see? Who do you see Baltimore in the chip with? In the AFC chip? Who could possibly be there with Baltimore?
I mean, Cleveland. Cleveland is tough. It just depends on how everything shake out.
Yeah.
You know, and I guess we'll see that in a couple of weeks. Well, next week is the last week, so we'll see how everything lay out.
Is Watson coming back this year, or he's out for the whole year?
No.
He's done.
Come on, they got Diamond Joe Flacco.
Right.
Joe Flacco looked like he did when the Ravens won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, he looking good, ain't he?
Yeah, he looking pretty goddamn good.
Yeah, that ain't
but hey, I mean, he looked good.
Right now, he does.
He looked good. But Purdy
grass looks good too when you first buy it.
Purdy looked good. Tua looked good. A lot of these guys would look good till they saw us. Now I'm talking French. Now I'm French this week. You know, we looking pretty goddamn good on both sides of the ball. You know, I'm a Frenchman this week. I'm Ravens. I'm all in. I'm all in. But I can't take all the credit because my co-host over there, that damn Dean, been saying it since week 1. Game one. You know, Ravens and the Eagles. That was your call, but the Eagles.
That was my call.
Good.
That was my call.
The Eagles ain't looking too good.
They're not looking too good. And,
they got another L today, I think.
Yeah, I think they did lose.
Yeah, they lost.
Was it the Bengals? No.
No, the Bengals playing now.
The Cardinals.
Yeah, the Cardinals of all people.
Yeah.
So it ain't looking good.
Yeah, they on the slide. I do think that the Niners is going to come out. I think they'll make it to the NFC chip. The Niners, you know.
Yeah, I think so.
Philly still got a chance. Dallas even got a chance. I don't think they're gonna make it though, but Dallas even have a chance. But I do think that the Niners will definitely, unless something happens. But I will put my money on the Niners getting to the NFC chip. Yeah. But it could very well be the I think I was telling my son or someone when we was watching the Baltimore game. I said this could be the Super Bowl right here. This could be a Super Bowl preview.
Yeah, I'd like for it to go the same way too.
Huh?
Yeah.
I'd like for the game to go the same way too.
Yeah.
You know, a thorough ass whooping.
Yeah, I agree. I think them 49ers are probably the elite team from the NFC. I think for Baltimore, I view Cleveland, you know, as maybe the biggest threat in the AFC because they're so familiar, you know, with the Ravens and they got that really strong defense. But you know, I'm a broken record. I haven't changed anything from day one. the Ravens will represent the AFC in the Super Bowl. I had a tough time really trying to pick between the Eagles and the 49ers. I went with the Eagles early at the beginning of the year because I thought that Hurts, I picked him over Purdy. I still wasn't sure about Purdy and what he could do. But, man, this Baltimore Ravens team, I mean, it's just, I mean, these last couple of weeks, man, been phenomenal. I literally think a lot of these other teams might be a little afraid of the Ravens at this point, the way they've been playing and beating up on people. And, you know, all the naysayers throughout the year, you know, they were laying for this 49er game because they were going to finally be able to punch Lamar in the mouth and punch the Ravens in the mouth with this 49ers game and shut him up because, you know, we got Brock Purdy and McAllister ahead of him anyway in the MVP voting. You know, and Lamar went in there and took care of business. He was phenomenal. And this game against Miami, you know, you was hearing the same kind of thing. And he was killing them today, man. This was, and you know, man, really, right now, Lamar Jackson. I mean, I know that dude in Kansas City can play, but right now, man, Lamar Jackson is the best quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah, clearly.
That's where I'm at.
What's up, Cheese? What's going on, brother? See, be in the building, Cheese. I don't know if you're saying.
Oh, shit.
Where is he?
in the comments.
Yeah. Okay. I see.
Yeah. I just want to start some shit. I don't care, you know. It's New Year's, man. I'm in a good goddamn. The Ravens. Did y'all see the Ravens, man? They put a 56 piece up on the Dolphins. And the Dolphins got what they had to say. They had the number one offense or something.
Shit, man. But coach, look, coach. When you think about the off season, and you think about all that chitter chat and all that stuff with Lamar not signing and NFL owner collusion and Lamar don't have an agent and all this foolishness, man, that went on directly at this man. And you know Lamar was catching it heavy. Yeah, he was catching it heavy, man. And all the haters came out. They was all throwing shit into the mix about Lamar. And here we are now on the eve of 2024, and this man has the MVP locked down, his second one at the age of, what is Lamar, 26, 27?
26.
Yeah, man. I mean, listen, this guy he's a Hall of Fame caliber quarterback. Before he's done playing, this guy will certainly be a first ballot Hall of Fame quarterback. I mean, he's doing things, man. He was already a unanimous MVP, but this year he's in an offense. That Monken offense is perfect for Lamar. He looks so comfortable. The guy's only running when he really needs to run. This dude is phenomenal, man. I'm just saying that the Ravens fans really, 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 man, need to enjoy this ride with this dude, man. Enjoy this Lamar Jackson era, because I'm telling you, you ain't gonna get an era like this again. This dude is phenomenal, man.
Yeah, man. And I mean, you know, I could go on and on because I was very vocal in my support of Lamar when you know, when all that stuff was transpiring, all of the naysayers and all of the negative talk and all of the, like we said, you know, the owner collusion and all the stuff that was coming up, you know, and there are a lot of people, media, local, you know, fans that are eating a big bowl of crow right now, and it's sickening each week for them to have to watch this guy do the things that he's doing, you know. So the only thing that they got to lay their hat on is if they don't win the game in the playoffs, if they don't win the Super Bowl, they're gonna always have something to say. See, I told you. See, I told you. But you know, those are those people that continually move the goalposts. You know, if we can't win one argument, I'm gonna slide the goalpost back another 10 yards and I'll make up another one. You know, I'll come up with something different to be able to tell you that I told you so. You know, and I just don't understand, you know, what it is that we want from this guy. Again, you know, he already got one MVP, and he was unanimous that year. I mean, it wasn't even not even a need to vote. It's him, and it could be the same thing this year. You know, with the way he's finishing. Now I'm sure some of them other guys are gonna get some votes, and deservedly so. You know what I'm saying? Some of them guys are gonna get some votes. But the way this young fella is playing, you know, he playing with a different kind of confidence. Because like you said, man, he's sitting in that pocket and he's patient. He's not taking off and running every time he get feeling pressure. He's moving around and he's keeping his eyes downfield and he's making stuff happen. You know, he's making plays happen, man. And again, when you go out of your way to hate, because that's all it is hate. When you go out of your way to hate somebody or to just dislike them for whatever reason, man, it got to be painful when they proving you wrong. You know what I'm saying? When they prove week after week after week, you know, because like I said, a couple of weeks ago when they lost to Cleveland, I mean, they was out in full force. He can't win. He's not a championship quarterback. He's not this. He's not that. And he played pretty damn good against Cleveland. I thought. I mean, Deshaun Watson had a hell of a second half against the Ravens defense. Lamar's not out there checking receivers. You know, he's not in the backfield, the defensive backfield, man. So, right. You know, it's like, yo, we want to blame. It's almost like back when remember back when we had Testaverde and Testaverde putting up 30 points a game, and then the defense couldn't stop me running the football. You know, back then. And everybody wanted to point the finger at Vinny because he couldn't pull out a last second, you know, he couldn't take us on a last minute drive to win a game that he had already put 30 some points up. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yo, the arguments just they don't make sense. They're imbalanced, you know, and it's like, yo, we gotta blame somebody. So we're gonna blame the guy we don't like the most. You know what I'm saying? So it's his fault. But, you know, all I say with, man, just be consistent. Stay consistent. If you gonna bash them when they lose a game that's not his fault, well, keep that same energy when they winning. You know what I'm saying? Keep that same energy up when they winning. But it's tough, man, when you throwing 5 touchdowns, you got a perfect quarterback rating, no turnovers. It's tough. It's tough to make an argument. And you know, Christmas Day, I'm sure a lot of eggnog went sour Christmas night. I'm sure of it. They had cups full of it, spiked and everything, and I'm sure the eggnog went sour. Like, God damn it, you know, this kid, man, come on, man. You know, but they make it easy for me. And they make me coming on here I'm having a lot of fun, you know, picking fun at these people. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a great team. The Ravens are a great team to cover this year for sure. And you know, want to give a shout out to that offensive line today. Man, I saw Lamar back there, you know, looking around, a couple, you know, had plenty time. They played a great game as far as pass protection goes. I mean, even had the running game going pretty good at one point. You know, I mean, that offensive line, man, was really dominated the Dolphins, and that was without Zeitler in there. So give them a shout out. You know, the receivers, you know, Zay did his thing. Likely, you know, did his thing, man. I mean, even Rashad Bateman had a real good game. The other tight end got a touchdown from Huntley.
88.
Yeah, so you know this Ravens team, man, and then you got to look at the fact that there was no Kyle Hamilton.
Yeah,
he's my defensive player of the year.
Hamilton,
he didn't play.
Yeah, Hamilton.
Humphrey, he got hurt last week.
Got hurt last week.
Yeah, Humphrey went out.
Humphrey, the number 21.
Yes, yeah. I can't remember his name, but he went out. Steven, yeah.
He didn't play this game,
Yeah.
man. He's been stellar all year.
Yeah,
And then Humphreys got hurt. So you was
Yeah.
looking at a secondary, man, with with Darby and Millette and all these cats out there,
Yeah.
going against Tua, man. So,
Yeah.
it was really, man, really a great game, man. I mean, Justice Hill had a nice 78-yard return on the kickoff.
I did see that.
It was across the board, man. Dominant win across the board.
Yeah. Stone got another interception.
Yeah.
And he been playing limited since Williams been back. His minutes been limited. He still lead the team in
interceptions. Yeah. Yeah.
And the fullback caught a touchdown.
Yes, that was nice.
The fullback caught a touchdown. Ricard, Pat Ricard caught it. I mean, so I mean, man, it just was a beautiful thing. And Lamar looked so comfortable back there. I mean, he was making it really look easy.
In fact, that first pass, I think should have caught that.
Yeah.
It kind of hit the ground a little bit. Another pass he threw, I thought that they should have called a pass interference on that one.
Mm-hmm.
So he was nearly perfect.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even the other pass he missed, likely it hit his hands.
Yeah.
I mean, so Lamar was almost 21 out of 21.
Yeah.
He wound up finishing 18 out of 21, 3 incompletions, but he had 5 touchdown passes.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable for a running back.
Yeah. For a running back.
OJ Simpson would never. OJ couldn't play like that. A real running back.
Now I don't know why you picked OJ, but but I agree.
Hey, why not? Why not? The juice.
This
is a juice safe zone. OJ, you can talk about OJ over here. Yeah, he's safe over here.
Yeah, he ain't got to worry about us hating on him.
Nah, he's safe over here. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna reach out to OJ and see if he'll come on.
He will. He probably will.
Yeah. It's gotta be prepared because he pretty slick. He pretty slick with his
Yeah, I know.
He got his pretty sharp tongue.
He really lucid.
Yeah. No pun intended on the sharp tongue.
No pun intended, man. Yeah.
He gonna start off. He gonna start off by saying, "I didn't do it," and I'm gonna tell you why. You ain't got to say shit.
Just let him talk.
Yeah.
He's gonna bring you a minute by minute blow.
Yeah.
If anybody saw something, he was just recently on somebody's
He come on with Cameron and Mace.
Huh?
He come on with Cameron and Mace.
That's what it was.
Oh, for real? I didn't see that.
Yeah, they got they have
recently.
pretty regular.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but if anybody out there know OJ, tell them to email me. And tell them to get in touch with me.
Right.
I like to get them on the sports mix. And my grandmother will be proud of me if I got OJ on. She was a big OJ fan. She watched the trial every day.
Okay.
Every day.
Okay.
Because it was interrupting her soap opera, so she might say, I might well watch this.
Might as well watch that.
I might well go ahead.
That was a big trial, man. I remember when it was going on, man. That thing was
9 months. 9 months.
That was a big thing, man.
Huge, man. That's huge.
Speaking of OJ,
yeah,
this ain't got nothing to do with the sports mix, but it's a guy in my building that has got a striking resemblance to Christopher Darden. Every time I see this brother, I want to be like, "Hey, Chris," I want to say something smart. I say, "Nah, I might not do that. He might not take well to that."
He probably heard it before.
I'm sure he has heard it before.
Yeah.
Because he got a bald head. He got the little glasses, and every time I see the brother, I'll be wanting to say something to him. I said, I just wave, man. What's up, bro?
Right.
But maybe once I get a little more comfortable, maybe more familiar, I might say, if anybody ever told you look like Christopher Dodd.
Right. Right. Remember he was the one that wanted OJ to try the gloves on.
Yeah. That backfired. Yeah, that backfired horribly.
Yeah. That didn't work out too well.
Horribly. So it's just I'm just excited, man. These boys put up 56 points today. You know, in a game that was supposed to be pretty tough. You know, and I give the Dolphins credit. They came out and they moved the ball really well.
Mm-hmm.
And it looked like the makings of it was okay. This is gonna be a tough one.
It'll be a shootout.
Their running back was out though, right? Mozart.
Yeah, Mozart was out.
Mozart was out.
And I heard somebody else was out too.
One thing I'm noticing
about one of their receivers,
Watson. What was it? Watson or
Waddle?
Yeah.
Waddle. Oh, Waddle was out.
Yeah.
So
one thing I'm noticing. No, he played the whole game.
Because I saw because I was watching it in and out, and there was one play where I saw I don't know if he caught a pass, but I saw he was like on the ground and he was like on the
hurting a little bit.
Sideline and kind of like pushed himself onto the
that was his pride.
Yeah.
His pride was hurt.
Yeah.
His pride was hurt. But one thing I noticed about this Ravens defense, and it seemed like, you know, teams kind of can kind of get up and down on them early. It's almost like, let's figure them out. Almost like the Floyd Mayweather approach. You know, remember Floyd used to kind of feel his opponents out the first 3-4 rounds. And then by 5th round, 6th round, he's pitching a shutout. It's almost like two different fights. And that's kind of how I've been looking at this Ravens defense. The first, because the 49ers scored on them pretty quick. Dolphins scored pretty quick. You know, but it's like once they had them figured out, and they even made mention of it on the broadcast, talking about the speed, you know, because they were talking, oh, Miami got this speed and it's different. It's not the same as you see it on film. Yeah. So once they figured that speed out, they said, okay, we got the answer for that. Shut that ass down, you know. And we went J5 on them.
We did.
And Randy made an appearance.
Yeah, Randy came in. That's right.
Randy came in there and you know, said, shit, I need some of this too.
Rewind.
You know, I'm trying to get me a contract next year too.
Right.
You know. So yeah,
and he will.
Yeah, he will. Yeah, somebody gonna pay him.
Somebody gonna pay Humphrey. Humphrey gonna get the money.
All right. So let me ask this. Who and how much money is Joe Flacco gonna make next year? Because somebody gonna pay him.
Yeah.
After the way he's been playing the last few weeks, you know, and depending on, you know, what he does in the playoffs.
As a starter,
somebody gonna pay him.
As a starter,
somebody gonna pay him. Yep.
As a starter,
yep. Somebody gonna be desperate. Now he's not gonna get Lamar.
Who needs
Jackson.
A quarterback?
Huh?
Who needs a quarterback?
Shit. Steelers.
New England.
I would say the Saints. I mean, it's a few teams that need a quarterback. The Raiders, the Broncos. Yeah. Somebody will pay him. Now he's not gonna get Lamar Jackson type of deal.
Oh no, he's not getting paid.
But somebody gonna pay him.
I'll be interested to see. I don't know.
Somebody gonna pay him to be a stop.
He's garbage. I don't give a fuck what he's been doing the last like you're gonna see this like next year. You're gonna see him who he really is.
Hey, somebody gonna pay that brother to be
you
a
think
stop.
So?
I can because he balling. You know these sports leagues, man. You know these sports teams are copycat. They trendy.
Right.
You know, they follow the hot trend.
Right.
You know, right now he balling. He playing his ass off right now. He on a 1-year deal with Cleveland. It's just like the quarterback a couple years ago that won the Super Bowl with the Eagles. And his name escapes me.
Wentz? Was it Wentz?
No, Wentz got hurt.
Yeah, the other guy.
And what's his name?
Kirkpatrick?
No. I gotta dig. Let me Google it.
Yeah.
Let me Google it. But it's just like him.
He was hot.
And he was a backup. He was a veteran backup at that. And somebody paid him, you know, and he became who he was. He was, you know, he went back to who he was.
Yeah.
You know. Let me see.
I give Flacco some credit, man. He
I'll be shocked.
Nick Foles.
Foles, yeah.
Nick Foles. So
yeah. Is he still in the league?
Nah, he gone.
Okay.
Yep. Every team is not winning their division. Somebody gonna pay that, man.
But Nick, you can't compare Nick Foles to Flacco. Flacco's like 100 and something years old.
Nick Foles was an old guy at that time, and he was a veteran.
Maybe not that
And
old.
He's a veteran, but not as. But Flacco is shot. I'm just seeing something.
But have you seen him play?
He's had a couple of good games. Not to take that away, but
no. But have you seen him play? Have you seen him play this year?
Say it again.
Have you seen Joe Flacco play this year?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's played reasonably well, but he's still Joe Flacco.
But based off how he's playing, somebody's going to pay him to come be their starter next year. I promise you that. Now, they may draft a quarterback. Because listen, this is you got to remember, man. Some of these
that's like Kyle Bowler all over again. I don't like.
No. I can't let you do that. I can't let you do that. I can't let you do that. Because Kyle Bowler was horrible. He was horrible with a big H. You know what I'm saying? he was big H horrible. Goddamn.
I don't see Flacco any like right now. I don't know. This is to me. I see him playing well. This is a flash in the pan. This is no different if Sam Newton were to come back and have like a real good 2 or 3 games.
But that's not going, man. That's not going to stop somebody from paying him to come in for a year.
I think we're gonna have like a side bet, man, because I can't see it.
Oh, okay, yeah, we can do that.
I can't. I mean, I know the NFL, but this guy is shot. I could be wrong.
But see, at this point, the last 4 or 5 years of Flacco don't matter. They looking at what he's doing right now. And right now, Ravens fans are scared to see him. And we watched him play the last 5 years of his career. We watched it.
By what you're saying, if they're going to criticize Lamar Jackson based on his play, they don't really hold like a whole bunch of credibility. So if they're coming out and saying some shit about Joe Flacco, ain't gonna really pay no attention to them based on what they're saying about Lamar. They have no it's not legitimate.
Well, we know the nature of a fan is to be fanatic and emotional. And a lot of these fans are emotional and they prisoners of the moment. And right now, Cleveland is playing well and Joe is playing well. And so I heard it Thursday night and Friday morning all day. I hope the Ravens don't have to see the Browns. It'd be bad if we got to see the Browns in the playoffs because of the way they playing. The defense is solid. So I mean, you know, I'm gonna say that right off front. Their defense is solid.
Yeah.
But so was the 49ers defense. So was the Dolphins defense. I mean, we've seen solid defenses before. You know what I'm saying? I'm riding with my guy until the wheels come off. I'm not one of them fans that I'm afraid of that. Like, I don't even know why fans say stuff like they scared of such and such, because you ain't on the field sacrificing your life or your body. Enjoy what we're seeing. You know, and I think that's part of it too. Is, you know, sometimes, man, with the ride, we get so caught up in wanting the ride to look a certain way. You know, I mean, people talk about the Super Bowl run with Flacco as if it happened 2 years ago. That was 10 years ago. 10.
Yes.
10 years ago this year.
Yes.
No matter of fact, 11 years.
11 or 12.
Matter of fact, 11 years, because it was the 2012 season. Yeah, so that you're talking 11 years ago, man. Yeah. So I'm not worried about Joe Flacco in that sense. I'm happy that he's doing well. You know, he's a Raven for life. I'm gonna be happy when his name goes up in there in the Ring of Honor and all that stuff. But until then, man, he's the enemy. He's the enemy. So, you know, and enemy is gonna get dealt with accordingly. You know, because like I said, Brock Purdy was the MVP front runner until last Monday night. He was number one. It was his, and from what the expert was saying, the 49ers was going to run roughshod over the Ravens last week. This is what I heard. But then, the Ravens showed up, flew all the way cross country on Christmas Day, nonetheless.
National televised game.
Everybody was watching.
Everybody was watching.
Unless they was watching the NBA.
The ratings were super high for that football game.
Yeah, and disappointment was at an all-time high.
For those who
Christmas was spoiled.
Yeah.
For a lot of people Monday night, all across this United States.
Yeah, because a lot of times when you see like a guy like Muhammad Ali when he gets step into that ring, or Floyd Mayweather, they step into that ring, half the people tuning in to see him get beat. They had that kind of aura against them, and the way Lamar Jackson handled himself, and for him not to have an agent, that's huge, man. That's huge to not have an agent and to do what he was doing. I mean, this guy Lamar Jackson, he ain't getting a whole bunch of commercials and things thrown at him and all that kind of stuff. But Lamar, he's focused this year. He looks very relaxed in this Monken's offense. This offense fits him beautifully. I think he's come down off of the that heavy weight training that he was on. He slimmed back down a little bit this year. I thought that him being muscled up messed with his accuracy a little bit, messed with his quickness a little bit. He done shed those all that muscle and stuff, and he's back to a comfortable weight now. He's looking good. He's seeing the field, man, magnificently. When that pressure come, this guy is locked in right now. He's locked in. He fully understands. He even talks about the 2019 year when he said that he thought that they had everything they needed to go ahead and win that thing that year. But Monken is a whole lot different, man, than that Greg Roman dude. Greg Roman just didn't have no answers when they loaded up the box. This guy Monken, he's got this offense so spread out. I mean, one play in the game today, he threw a pass to maybe it was Hill down the sideline, and they called a pass interference call on maybe Likely or somebody coming across.
Yeah, it looked like a little pick play.
Yeah, pick play. Called it the pick play on him, and the call was questionable, but he came right back to it. He came right back to it, and this time Rashad Bateman just kind of act like he was still going through on his route and scored. And I mean, that's the kind of a mindset this guy. I mean, and when you look at Likely's touchdown, he came right back and did the same play and got another touchdown. I don't know who caught that one, but Monken, man, again, the biggest thing that the Ravens did in the offseason was sign Lamar. The second biggest thing was bringing in Monken as an offensive coordinator.
And did you see him celebrating at the end?
Monken?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I ain't never seen him.
I didn't see him.
They showed. I think it was on Randy Jackson's touchdown.
Okay.
Yeah, Monken was up there, man. He throwing. They showed him up in the box, but he was jumping around. And I said, "Oh, okay,
yeah,
okay, all right, Monken."
Yeah.
Man,
this was an impressive win by these Ravens, man. Real impressive. And it's been a whole lot of talk about being the first seed in the AFC and having that layoff, that bye. You think about playing Pittsburgh next week. I mean, who do you put in? Who do you rest? How do you navigate the game with Pittsburgh, knowing that you got to bye the following week for the playoffs? So that's going to be the talk of the town for the Ravens. But I'm like, hey, this is you earned the first seed. You earned to rest some of these guys. I think Hamilton needs to rest with his knee. I think Patrick Queen needs it. He's got that shoulder. You got Roquan. He used to have one arm wrapped up, bicep. Now he got both biceps wrapped up.
Yeah.
Ronnie Stanley, a little banged up. Beckham, Beckham is banged up, and so I don't know about Mark Andrews whether he has an opportunity to come back. But this team, man, this team is something. That's all I can say. They are really something. Humphreys, he got a little banged up with his calf, so hopefully, man, they can come in, and I'd like to see them. Obviously, we're not gonna have we won't have Keaton Mitchell, and we won't have the other running back that got hurt early in the year. But I like to see this
JK.
team full. Yeah, JK. I like to see them full bluff with everybody, and whether they off a week or whatever, it don't bother me. I just think that they really locked in this year. And damn boy, Cheese, what's up, Cheese man? CB done just dashed out. What's going on here, Kenny?
See, I knew this was gonna happen. I knew this was gonna happen. See,
What? Oh, they just keep missing.
Well,
I don't.
Full disclosure. CB said he gonna try to come back. He had some food. He had some food delivered, so he had to get a grub. So hopefully,
I don't know whether it's a euro or the American dollar, but I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. I knew he was gonna do it. Not chicken, not rooster, but I knew he was gonna duck me out. I knew he was gonna duck me out. That's okay.
Hilarious. Yeah. So Cheese man, just give us your thoughts on the game today. We've been kind of talking about the game and the dominating fashion that they played the last couple of weeks, because we didn't get a chance to talk about the 49ers game here. But what's your thoughts on the game today?
Yeah, I thought they played pretty well. I thought the defense settled down after the first quarter and a half. You could tell the difference with Hamilton not being there, but they played well, especially in the second half. I give him a lot of credit, man. And Lamar played great. I think he made the right reads, which he always seems to do anyway. He just picked them apart, gave what the defense. Took what the defense gave him. Took some long shots. He was pinpoint accuracy all day. I thought Likely had some great catches. Beckham had a catch. Great catch down the sideline.
Yes.
I think that interception by Roquan was fantastic. The one-hand grab.
The interception.
Yeah, man. They just. But it's not shocking to me. I think a lot of people in Baltimore, I don't think we realize how good we have it, because, like, as I stated before on one of your previous shows, a lot of people, friends around the country that I met through, boxing and other stuff, they say, man, if our team was that consistent, which the Ravens are, every year, that they're going to be 500 or better. They always seem to win 10 wins or more. They always in the playoff hunt. The organization speaks for itself from Bashotti on down there. Even with I know Bashotti's the money man, but you got to give even DeCosta, who learned from Ozzie, on down. It's just a A+ organization. I think they mentioned it earlier how some of the former players had nothing bad to say about the Ravens organization. So that ought to tell you, speaks volumes on how they, former players feel still to this day. Even the old school players, Reed and Ray, they talk about how, play the Raven way, and, be a Raven. And it just speaks volumes to the organization. I don't think people realize, even in the city, how good we have it. And that's why I hate, and Kenny, we mentioned this before, that's why I so hate the bandwagon fans, man, because they'll lose one or two in a row. Next thing you know, oh man, Lamar sucks and this and that, and then they win 4 or 5 in a row, and it's like, oh, Lamar MVP. No, stick with him, see what happens. And that's what upsets me. But that's sports though. And
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't get mad at that part. I just don't like. And I saw you were talking about Brock Purdy, and I don't want to be too long. When I saw you talking about Brock Purdy and them guys, and that's football banter, you
Mm-hmm.
know.
Mm-hmm.
So I enjoy that part, but the fans can be a little fickle at times. But
Yeah, but you know, we kind of are. I think we all kind of look at stuff a little different, sports wise. Like I don't think, we love our teams. Like we are fans of who we fans are, but we also can be realistic too. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't get too high or too low on our teams, the teams that we support. You know, like it's not no, when the Orioles don't have it going good, we not. I ain't watching no more of that. We watch the games, we go to games. We support. Same thing with the Ravens. When it's not going good, we still there. We watching.
mhm.
And I think at the same time, we just realistic from a standpoint of we the sports is just that way, man. You're gonna have highs and lows in sports. Just sometimes even the flow of a game, and you see people getting they be so high and low with the flow of the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta let the game play out. You know what I'm saying? I saw it like early on. I saw people saying, "Man, our DBs can't cover." I was like, "Yo, let them let the game flow a little bit." Sometimes, man, and a lot of times too, as fans, we don't know what kind of defense they playing. We don't know what kind of coverages is going on. We just see a receiver catch a ball and somebody that's either not in the picture or just getting in the picture that wasn't there when the ball got there, and they like, "Well, he got burnt." Or was they in the zone coverage? What I'm saying? Like, yo, we're not even speaking from a position of really understanding what's happening or what we're seeing. And then all sports, man, it's a game of adjustments. You know what I'm saying? And the adjustments that the Ravens made to whatever the Dolphins were doing to them the first quarter was superb because they weren't getting those quick hitters, they weren't getting those timing routes like they were getting that first quarter, man. I mean, give Mike McDonald credit, for whatever adjustments he made with personnel and putting people in position because things didn't look as easy for them once he settled in and made those adjustments. So I'm a type man. Every game has a flow. Every game is gonna have the old cliche. It's a game of runs. Everybody gonna make a run, whether it's football, basketball. And those are we talking about professionals, guys that they out there to win. They both sides are trying to win. You know what I'm saying? Both sides is trying to get the W. Both sides is trying to win the game. So it could go either way. But again, the Ravens jumped out on them, and there was 4 quarters to be played. So you had to come out the second half with that same intensity you had in the first half, and even ratchet it up a little bit more and finish the game. You know what I'm saying? Finish it off. They got it done. They got the dub. Look pretty impressive doing so. They got the number 1 seed in the AFC. They wrapped up the division today. So the next thing is like you said, Dean, who's going to play next week? Should they rest people? Because if not, that's a long break. To not play any football because you got you got the bye week, and you will have next week. So you're talking like 3 weeks without playing some football for some guys that timing is everything. Timing and then just being in that routine. Of because you can't mimic game speed. As much as you want to do it in practice, you can't mimic what you see in the game. So, like you said, it's going to be the big discussion. I know it's going to be talked about all week. Uh, should they who should sit, who shouldn't play? Uh, you know, um, do they rest Lamar? Do you take a chance and not play this guy? Like, so those will go to the conversation that's going to be had this coming week. You know, and it's going to be interesting to see how Harbaugh and the staff, what their philosophy is on that over the next 2 weeks. But again, when you're number one, these are great problems to have. These are great decisions to have to wrestle with. In my opinion, I much rather have these decisions to make than the opposite, still trying to fight for a spot. That's all I got.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Adrian James, John Griffin, what's up, fellas?
What's up, John? Yeah, man. We got a hell of a team on our hands right now with these Ravens, and I mean, I think Cheese really touched on something, man, that a lot of us take for granted.
Mm-hmm.
When you think about these Ravens always playoffs and in the hunt and having a excellent reputation as an organization. Yeah, definitely. All the ex-players always speak highly of the team. This whole Lamar Jackson era has been must-see TV as far as I've been concerned from day one.
Mm-hmm.
And man, this guy is not going to be around forever. He's still a young man. We still got a whole lot of Lamar Jackson left. I think we need to ride this guy, man, and pump him up. I'm surely hoping for a Super Bowl win, man. If the Ravens can go through, and I think they will represent the AFC, I think they are the team to beat. I think other teams are starting to be afraid of the Ravens based on the way they've been playing. And if we happen to go head up again with Frisco in the Super Bowl, I know I'm jumping ahead, but Purdy ain't gonna throw 5 interceptions again.
I totally agree.
Yeah, he's not gonna throw 5 interceptions. So we can forget about that. So I think if they do go head up again, it'll be a more competitive game. But yo. What's up, Brooks?
Uh-oh.
All right.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Hey.
Oh! What happened to Cheese? What happened to Cheese? Oh man, Cheese has disappeared.
Oh shit!
Oh man. Cheese done disappeared.
Oh man.
Yeah, like my intro music, man.
Oh man.
Hold on. See, you know what? I wasn't. See, this is what you call. I'm not going to sit here.
Man.
No, I'm not going to let CB just make a grand entrance. So what I do is I exit stage left and reintroduce myself again. I'm not going to let him upstage me. I'm not. It's not going to happen.
Out of here, man.
No, I did that because it's no way that I'm going to come out first again. No.
He tried that on the wrong person.
Golly.
Oh man.
Oh my gosh. He got the Obama portrait up.
Hold on. Good book, by the way.
Not that good.
Yeah.
Not that good.
So for those that don't know, there is a brewing debate, and I would love to have this thing in person. I'd like to have it in a boxing ring if we could, because we could really sell this thing.
I'm too old for a boxing ring, man.
I know that's right.
This sit in the ring. We ain't got to put no gloves on and nothing, But it's gonna be some haymakers thrown. I definitely know that. I definitely know that. So there's a Obama vote. Barack Obama has been a popular topic over the last couple of years on the sports mix. And brother Brooks,
really popular? Is that the right word to use?
Well, I say spirited. Anytime his name has come up the banter has been spirited, nonetheless. You know, and see, CB, who's that behind you? Who's that brother behind you there? Yeah, that brother there.
Malcolm.
Yeah.
Well, I do, and to my defense, I don't have my camera pointed up, but I do have Malcolm just above my frames right here. So, but it's good to see you, CB. Now, I
What's
got in
up,
touch
TD?
with my lawyers and my team, and they
Okay.
told me do not have any kind of confrontation with you. So what we're
Okay.
going to do is I'm not going to start any kind of, internet beef or anything right now.
I appreciate that, man.
Yeah.
Because you know why? Because
So,
you're a man of principle. You're a man of
yeah,
principle, and I can
yeah.
dig it.
And I only felt this way once I got Candace Owens on my team, and
Right.
things kind of changed.
You had to go and get a super team. I tell you this, if you want, you can bring them in. I take them all on.
I know you will.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
you had to go get lawyers and shit, man. Damn, cheese.
Yeah, I paid CB a visit the other day, and he's ready. I'm just saying that.
Well, CB is always ready. By the way, great read, CB. I'm being serious. Great read as usual.
Oh,
so I'm
thank
going to
you,
share.
man.
I'm going to share that when I get off of here.
I appreciate that, man.
Great
Took
read.
me some time to get that to get my points across and make it clear. But I just think that there's a lot of focus on the national, and when someone's hospital is going to close down, or if there's an issue with a particular school, or if there's a problem with a traffic light, you're not calling the White House.
Good point. Yes, that's
you're
right.
You're calling the city council. You're gonna call your mayor. You're dealing with on that level. You're not calling Biden for that.
That's right.
That's all.
Yep. You're right.
So getting back to the Ravens, Adrian James said he think we should sit Lamar and Zay.
Why? For injury?
Just the injury, the chance of injury.
Chance of injury, right.
Mm-hmm.
But wouldn't that you think that'll play into critics, meaning that the criticism against Lamar in the past has been, him having to sit out because he was injured, and this would be the flip where to prevent him from being injured. So it could probably feed into a critique of if he wasn't so prone to getting hurt, we wouldn't have to sit him down or whatever that critique could, or criticism of Lamar. But my question is, do you think that would feed into that criticism of Lamar, or would it just kind of like go by the wayside there?
I think I agree with Adrian. I think they should sit him, Zay, Beckham, obviously to get his legs together, because we're gonna need him. I think all the starters, in my opinion, should sit. Now, here's the I totally agree. And here's the question. Because even if they play the half next week, they're still going to have 2 weeks off. So you're saying, okay, let us play a quarter, which is 2 or 3, possessions.
Yeah.
Right.
And to me, that won't justify keeping them fresh, because you're going to have to sit after they come out, because they're the home, they don't have the home field advantage. So they're not going to play the first week anyway, the playoffs.
Right.
So they're going to have to play that second week. So in my opinion, I totally agree with Adrian that, why would I have them come out for 2 or 3 possessions just to keep them fresh, it's not going to make any bit of a difference because they're going to be out anyway. I just don't see the logic in it. And then I know Adrian is probably agreeing with me. You know, you can't. This is the 1 year out of the last couple where you got, in my opinion, the MVP of the league who's healthy. I can't chance that. He's playing great. The fellas are clicking. If they ain't clicking at the 17 weeks, they're not gonna click. I think at this point, that playing of 2 or 3 possessions is not gonna make a difference at this point. I do not see the logic in it at all. I can see if they playing a possession, a couple possessions, and then they might have a week off, but they're gonna have 3 weeks off. Am I right?
Doesn't the issue of perhaps like being stale and not like having that consistency about them because of the long layoff, that the possibility of rust.
Sure, but what's two or three possessions going to do for that?
Yeah, I dig
if you have them play this coming week and say somebody come on a blitz and take Lamar out the game, which is totally possible.
Right.
You know, that's not going to do it. I mean, if they're going to be stale playing 2 or 3 possessions, they're going to be stale if they don't play at all. In my opinion, I just think you can't chance. I mean, too much is riding on it at this point, man. I mean, just my opinion. But yeah, I think especially when you got this man, he just got his contract. He wants a Super Bowl. I mean, then you got to look at this. We don't have our top 2 running backs. They're gone.
Right.
We don't have our top tight end. He's gone.
Right.
We got a lot of players that's banged up. We got what I consider Sean Taylor, Ronnie Lott hybrid. He's injured. We got to get him back on board.
Talking about Hamilton?
I just think, I just think you take these 3 weeks, get everybody healthy, and get ready to roll in that first playoff game. That's just, you know.
Let me ask you guys a question.
It's a sticky proposition, though. You know, because it's not a wrong answer in that. Because if they sit them out, and then when they do come back in that first game, and there is some rust, you know, that'll give the pundits something to talk about. If they do play and they somebody get hurt or nicked up, they give them something to talk about. So, you know, you pretty much, you damned if you do and you damned if you don't. You know, so there's got to be a serious discussion, I think, amongst the organization as to how they're going to move forward. And whatever decision they make, they got to ride with it. You know what I'm saying? You can't waver on it. If we decide, you know what, we're going to rest some guys we're going to sit guys out against Pittsburgh next week. We'll have the bye week, and then the following week, you know, we'll come back full strength. If that's the decision, you got to ride that. You know what I mean? You can't go back and waver if it for whatever reason don't work in your favor. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think it's as clear cut as that's just what we should do, but it got to be some serious discussion, and then
so tell me this, Kenny. I'll ask you a question, and I'll pose this question to all y'all, because I don't think it's a serious question at all. I think it's really cut and dry, but I'm gonna ask you this question: if you were John Harbaugh or, you know, the brass or whatever, what would you do as the coach? You take because outside of the locker room means nothing at all. You Kenny, and CB and Dean as the coach, what would y'all do? Because, like I said, it's not gonna make I mean, it's not a hard decision at all for me. Not at one bit to come out and play 2 or 3 or 4. You're not even gonna play 4 possessions, because I think after the first quarter, if you let them out there, you crazy, and they get fired and they get hurt in the second quarter, you should be fired. Ain't no way. There's no way.
But I think that's a question of knowing your personnel and knowing what it takes for them to be prepared to play. You know, is this a guy that can, get the reps in practice and still be sharp, or is this the type of guy that might need to get out there a little bit, you know, whether it's a couple possessions a game, and then be ready that way. So it's you don't want the injury. You don't want to see nobody get hurt.
And then here's the main thing. We talking about the Steelers. They ain't worried about none of that shit. They feel like, oh, the Ravens, they gonna play their starters against us, and they going to play. Oh, really? On Ravens Steeler week? Oh, they think, okay, they're gonna have practice against us and go, come out there and keep themselves sharp. Oh no, they're gonna try to make it happen. That means if they can take Lamar out in the grand scheme of the game, they're gonna do that. Them Steelers ain't worried about if Lamar gonna be healthy for the playoffs. You better believe that.
All right, well, but that's what I'm saying. It's a question that John Harbaugh and his staff gotta ponder. What makes sense for them? Yeah, you don't want to see nobody get hurt. You don't want to see your guys go out and risk injury. I get that, but is what I'm saying is we just say Lamar. Is Lamar a type of guy that's better with getting the reps, or is he a guy that maybe can sit out here and then he'll be fine, a week from now or 2 weeks from now?
The coaches would know. Lamar would know that, and the coaches would know that, because not every player is going to respond in that way. Some players, maybe the older players, could respond to that break, and they can be able to come back and be fresh. You have other players that break disrupts their momentum, and if their body systems and mental, if there's like a used to going like every week or whatever, then they want to keep that you want to keep that going. But I think it does depend on the player and their makeup. Not everyone is made up the same. But there was a question that I wanted to ask y'all about the sitting and not sitting. And I don't know, and I'm asking this question because I don't know how prevalent it is in the NFL versus the NBA. Because in recent years, that in the NBA, particularly when it gets closer to like playoffs or whatever, superstars sit.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a whole issue about fans coming and spending their money, and then they come to the game and you got the superstars that are sitting. They're not injured, they're just sitting because of what the same thing in terms of preventing injury. Whereas now the NBA has come out with some kind of policy I think it starts maybe like next year, where they are addressing that. So with the NFL and be it with the NFL, there's clearly a more of a physical impact versus the NBA. But with the playoffs coming, and you're going to have like 6 teams, and they're all going to be approaching the playoffs, and just think of a picture where they're looking at their quarterback and be like, man, I'm not taking a chance. You gonna sit. And so I don't know how prevalent that is in the NFL in the last weeks before the playoffs, sitting their players, and how that would be felt by or reacted by the fans.
Yeah, we come up every year.
Okay.
It comes up every year. Usually whoever that top team is, or once a team secured a playoff spot, if they got guys that's banged up, or you always talk about resting the guy. You don't want to risk injury. This, that, and the other. So it come up every year with football. So it's not a new argument. And DJ Meek, I did see where Lamar said that when they were the 1 seed back in 2019, that he didn't particularly like sitting out, because it just kind of got him off his game. You know what I'm saying?
It's high energy.
Yeah, but just the routine,
exactly.
of the week to week, And that's what I'm saying. Like some people are creatures of habit,
Mm-hmm.
and they need those repetitions and need that live game action.
Yep.
Versus, like you said, somebody else said, I forget which one of y'all guys said it, but maybe like an older guy,
Yeah.
an older veteran guy that may not need those reps that
Right.
would, welcome the reps.
Appreciate the rest.
Yeah.
See, that's my point. That was 4 years ago. I'm going on 5 years ago.
But he said it today.
But yeah, still at this point, you're a 5th or 6th year guy. At this point, you know the difference now. And I'm a proponent. I John Thompson always said it. Even with, as far as playing, he said, okay, whenever you're called on to play, you're gonna play. They didn't draft you to say, okay, I can't be ready this week, or I gotta play. No, whenever it's time for you to play, you gotta be prepared to play. And that's what John Thompson was. He always said, so if you have a bye, the job of the organization is to have that team ready to play to the best of their ability, because you've got to figure they have 2 weeks off for the Super Bowl every single year.
Yep.
And then I've always said the team that is most prepared usually wins the Super Bowl. The teams that have come out flat, they're not prepared. You have to be prepared at this point. And if that means sitting, they're going to have to stay out 2 weeks anyway. At the gate, they got to stay out 2 weeks. I don't see the logic in playing 2 or 3 series. That makes no sense to me at all. I don't get it. I don't get it.
I mean, to start the playoff, they only had to sit out 1 week.
What you mean? No, because if they don't play next week, which is week 17 or 18, they're not going to play the following week because they're getting a bye.
Right, all right. But I'm saying
then they're off again until the following week.
But I'm saying if they finish the season out, so next week is technically the end of the season. So it's only, I mean, if they do play next week, there's only 1 week in between. There's a bye. So
well, hold on. What you mean?
No, if they play week 18,
right,
or 19, whatever it is, that's the last game of the season. It's only 1 week bye.
So hold on. So you're telling me if they play next week, right?
Right.
The week that following week is the first round of the playoffs.
They'll sit out that week.
Right.
They don't play
They're
that
off.
Week.
They're off again. So that's 14 days. That's 2 weeks.
If they play next week, it's only 1 week. They miss 1 week and they come back the following week.
I don't get. Hold up. Wait a minute. How does that happen?
They only missing 1 game.
That's 2 weeks though.
Well, he's still gonna practice.
That's my point. Why would I have him go in the game for 2 or 3 series?
All right, so 2 weeks. So if they don't play next week, you're talking about 3 weeks.
Exactly. So why would I put him in the game next week just to play 2 or 3 series?
Therein lies the question. The question that
it's a
people
question
that people that make a lot of money. I mean, but we got opinions. That, you know what I'm saying? It don't matter what my opinion is.
So tell me your opinion. What's your opinion? What should they do?
I really don't have one. I don't really know because it depends on the players. It depends on the type of players you have. You got to know your personnel. You got to know your personnel. If your guys need the type of guys that need to get those type of reps, you gotta have that. You got to have a discussion.
So from you being a sports guy, and you know sports, take away all of it. I want your opinion on what you think the Ravens should do.
I don't think it's clear cut.
Okay.
I don't think it's clear cut because if you go out there and if you rest these guys and then they come back in 2-3 weeks and it's clearly some rust, then you second guessing yourself again. So when you making those type of decisions, it's all about understanding who your personnel is. I don't think it's just clear cut because you can't play football. You can't play football, any sport for that matter, but football clearly. You can't play football worrying about getting injured because it's a collision sport. Injuries happen all the time. You can't go.
I totally agree with that.
We can't worry about if somebody get hurt. I can't.
Well, I'll tell you what.
That can't be the mindset. You know what I'm saying? Because
I agree with that.
They can sit out the 3 weeks and come back in the first quarter of the first game and somebody get hurt. Then
I
what?
agree with that. But you take the equation out by not playing in the last week of a game that doesn't mean anything. You take that
Oh,
equation
I get
out
that. I
and
get
you
that.
just roll with the punches in the playoff game.
I get that. I get that 100%. But it's a decision that it's gonna be talked about all week.
I
You know what
think
I'm
y'all
saying?
planned this. I
It's
think
gonna be talked
between
about
you and
all week.
CB, you guys planned this, that you were going to get on my nerves with this. I knew it was going to happen. I knew it was going to happen. I think
Hey.
yesterday when y'all were together, y'all were plotting. I really did. And the
No, man.
only reason I know because Dean called me and told me.
Well,
He done dragged you in it, Dean.
I know,
Sorry,
I know, I
Sorry,
know.
D.
I know. I've been quiet as a mouse over here.
All right, my bad.
some of them
I like it when y'all two go back and forth, man.
some of them conversations that we had Friday, they not
That's
for
what
the air.
me and Kenny do. I love Kenny. That's all we do, man. So
Yeah,
That's
some
what
of
it
them
is.
conversations me and CB had, they not for the air.
I know that's right. I know that's right.
Yeah,
No,
I never seen CB like this before.
He was fired up, man. Yeah, but I think it's a I think it's a good problem to have, though. You know,
Yeah,
whether
that's a
whether
great
they
problem to have.
play or whether they don't play, I think it's a good problem to have to try to figure that out.
Mhm.
DJ Meek says he wouldn't play the Stars.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, even like Chubb today for Miami
Mhm.
was out there and they were 30 points down.
I wouldn't
and
have
he
had. See,
ACL.
yeah,
He tore his ACL. Should he have still been out there? I
and
wouldn't
he's
have
a.
had him out
I
there.
wouldn't have had him out there.
No,
And
Chubb
he's a
tore
fantastic player, man.
he's a
Chubb tore
fantastic
his
player.
ACL.
He tore his
That's what they
ACL
believe. Yep.
Wow.
in the fourth quarter while they was 30 points down.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of thing that come into play. That's what they got to think about. They got to think about some of these injuries. Of course, you look at the offense is in such a good rhythm.
Mhm.
Do you sit out 3 weeks and disturb the rhythm of the offense? Lamar is hitting on all cylinders right now. Him and those receivers. I mean, 3 weeks is a long time to sit out and not, be able to get any kind of game time action. So it's gonna be a big decision for Harbaugh and that brass to make on as far as how they handle this, how they play. Some people might even say, well, keep them playing against Pittsburgh, not 2 or 3 series, play the whole game against them, or some people might say, don't play them at all. Or I'm saying some people might be thinking play 2 or 3 series and then sit them out. Is that going to help them? I don't know.
What about a half? Does that make sense to play him for a half, and then sit him in the second half?
I mean, like Kenny said, man. I mean, it's up to
Because what you're saying in terms of like him coming in and playing like 2-3 series, like that's preseason. Like I wouldn't even bother if you're only gonna come in like 3-4 series. That's just like playing in a preseason game.
Yeah,
I would think you're either gonna play like the first quarter and I'm gonna sit you, or I'm not gonna play you at all. But to play like 3 or 4 series, that I don't know. That seems like I don't know.
But when you in a rhythm like they are, like Dean said, man, that 3 weeks is a long time.
Long time.
Yeah.
And you can't manufacture what you see in the game. Like you can only do so much in practice, as far as getting the game speed or sometimes it's just seeing another jersey, a different color jersey coming after you. To keep that whatever that thing is, man. But like you said, the offense have been hitting, and I always say, man, you don't want to be playing your best football in September and October. You want to be playing your best football in November, December, which they are. They right now they playing pretty solid. All right, CB. Yeah, they playing pretty solid. So that's a long time to maybe not rest. But I think, again, it's and also that's not a decision that they should make till what, Thursday, Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Because you want Pittsburgh to be guessing. You don't want them to know who they got a game plan for and all that stuff.
I think,
So that it's something we're here at the end of the week.
and I think that same discussion kind of came up if you look at the baseball season. And I think you had, the Atlanta Braves and I'm not sure, maybe the Dodgers and some of them teams that kind of clinched a little early,
Mm-hmm.
and they all got knocked out in the first round.
Yeah.
And people were talking about, is that good for a baseball team? I know pitchers are on that set rotation where they pitch every 5 days or whatever, and they like to keep that pitches. So I don't know if that's going to come into play. I do think that 21 days is a long time for the team to be sitting out not doing anything. My guess is that they'll start. I think Lamar probably will start against Pittsburgh. I think some of those starters are gonna play, and I think they'll play it by ear as the game go on. So we'll see. We have to sit back and see what Harbaugh is going to do with that one.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
What's up, Keon? What's going on, Keon, man? Long time. Happy New Year. Happy holidays to you and the family and all that. So yeah, that's definitely gonna be a big debate, man, coming up.
Yeah. And they all making some pretty good points here. Keon and these guys coming in making some pretty good points. About not playing them. I think the safe thing to do is to not play them, of course, because you avoid the injury altogether. But you do have to take into consideration the rhythm that Lamar. I'm thinking about Lamar and even when what's his name came back from injury for a while, Humphreys. He looked real rusty, man. He was stumbling all over the field trying to cover, but then the following week he was back on point as far as the cover guy goes. So they're gonna think about this one though. They're gonna they're gonna think about this. And I'm okay with whatever way they go. I'm okay with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. I'm just gearing up for February football. That's all.
Yeah, this is the year, man. Whatever it is to get them to that Super Bowl, this is what they do. This is the year. This is the year for the Ravens to get there.
Yeah, and I just want to be petty, man. I just want to be able to say, man, I told all y'all that was hating on my man all last season and talking bad, talking about my man wasn't a winning. I just can't wait to plaster their names all over the place, man. I'm waiting for that. It's gonna be a great day in sports mix history when I get to call these folks out and dare them to come on here.
See, if the Ravens had won that Super Bowl back when he won that MVP, I mean, I wanted him to win the Ravens to win that Super Bowl so bad because that season that Lamar had to cap that thing off with a Super Bowl probably would have gone down in history as the greatest season for a quarterback ever. I mean, what he did that year with the MVP, I think he had 4 games that were perfect.
Yeah.
Quarterback rating. I don't think that had ever been done before. He led the league in touchdown passes. He led the league in rushing. He set an all-time record in rushing. I mean, that year they went 15-2. I mean, that was a remarkable year. He won MVP unanimously. I think he was the youngest. I know they mentioned him and Jim Brown as far as winning that thing at the young age and being unanimous. I mean, that year was phenomenal, and I wanted him to go through. I didn't think that, the league really wanted him to go through and win the Super Bowl. I don't think Lamar has ever really been a favorite of the league, and particularly this year, he hasn't been a favorite of the league. I always keep an eye on some of the calls the refs make and things like that. But man, I'm pulling for these Ravens to win this thing this year because this guy Lamar Jackson is a special talent. Pat Mahomes is been that guy the last few years, but I think, man, I think this guy Lamar Jackson, the way that he's now playing in an offense that really fits his spirit. And I got this dude as the top quarterback in the league. That's where I'm at. I got Lamar Jackson as the best quarterback in the NFL right now. And of course, going into the playoffs and winning in the playoffs is the thing that he has to do to get all these folks off his back, because like you say, they're going to keep moving the goal line a little bit more. So he's got to go in there and play the way that he's played during the regular season. He's got to do that during the playoffs. And I think he can do it because I just don't see these teams being able to defend Todd Monken's offense. They can't defend Lamar like they could before when they were all playing in a box under Greg Roman. And, even Lamar losing the muscle that he had bulked up so much, and he looked unnatural to me. I didn't like him bulked up. I thought it messed with his throwing motion, his flexibility. He didn't shed all that muscle, and he's back to a comfortable size. He's moving better. He's avoiding the rush better, and his accuracy is better because he's more fluid. He's a very fluid player, and he had to bulk up just to keep up with Greg Roman's offense because Greg Roman was killing the man. So he's down to a comfortable weight. He's looking downfield, man. It's just so impressive when the pressure is there. He keeps his eyes downfield, and he runs now at the very last second. I mean, he's always looking downfield, and his passing is very accurate. I mean, one of the things about him when he was in college was his accurate passing. So this is the guy always could throw, and I think now he has an offense who has taken him into account, where Todd Monken comes in and has an offense that fits Lamar, where Greg Roman had an offense that fit Greg Roman, and that's a big difference.
Yeah, I agree. Dane, but I tell you this is one thing a lot of fans don't get about Lamar. Even when we had Greg Roman, this is every year the Ravens have the top rushing team in the NFL. And people say, oh, Lamar doesn't have the stats of Mahomes, which is all hogwash to me because I kind of equate Lamar to a Magic Johnson in the way that he makes his teammates better. The rushing attack is better because he's a threat every single play. It opens up holes for the running backs that other teams just do not have. It's a reason why the rushing attack of the Ravens is number one every year. It's because of him. Absolutely. And the way he allows the defenses to be off guard and they don't know what they're going to do. And they open holes, and Gus and other running backs get 4 and 5 and 6 yards a clip. Other teams just don't have that. And I think that's a big reason. And I look at his accumulative yards where, it's touchdowns. And, you say, okay, he throws for, somebody like Mahomes throws for 4,500. He'll throw for 3,500, but he'll have 1,000 yards rushing. But it doesn't account for the holes he has given the other running backs to allow them to run at such a pace to where they are leading the rushing rushing attack every year in the NFL. And I don't think the normal fan sees that. They just look at numbers and say, okay, it's just not, because you can throw for 40 touchdown passes and your team is 4-13.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is why I'm not a numbers guy.
And think about how it helps the defense, especially when you got the rushing attack going. The defense is resting. Yeah. They come out there. Yeah. Then they full throttle when they get out there. It all works hand in hand.
So I don't know, DJ Meek. I don't know you, brother. So I'm wondering, are you a Steelers fan, or you just don't think they're gonna win against the Steelers? That's why I had that up there. So
he said, I still did he mean to say I still want the win against the Steelers?
He said a LOL. So I hope he's saying want to win, or clarify that for me, brother.
LOL. I still want the win against the Steelers. I'm thinking he was saying want, but it say won't.
Yeah. So clarify that. But and you were just making a point and had me thinking about something. I kind of
It's a great point because you can't look at the stats and
The stats.
figure out who Lamar Jackson is and the
no.
impact that he might have on the game.
No.
You can't look at the stats with this guy. He's not that conventional type of quarterback that you look at these stats, just like Shannon Sharp was making those comments about Lamar, saying he had the same amount of touchdown passes as Mac Jones and all those crazy comments that he was making. But the Ravens.
Oh, Shay Sharp.
Yeah. I mean, but the Ravens still lead the league in rushing.
Yeah.
And that goes to Cheese's point. I mean, that guy's such a threat back there. He make Justice Hill better. He make Edwards better. He make these guys better because you always got to worry about this guy Lamar Jackson on the field.
Yeah.
But you guys bring up Flacco yet?
Yeah. We can bring him back up. But,
okay. I didn't know. My bad. Okay.
The stat that matters to me at the end of the day is the win.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Whatever, you get the win by any means. And if we score one more point than the other team, hey, we won.
Is there any question in y'all minds whether this guy should be MVP this year?
None. Now, it may not be unanimous. It may not be unanimous this time. But I think the last 2 weeks for sure.
Yeah.
For the last 2 weeks for sure, against the guy that was the head of him. Matter of fact, they get two guys that was ahead of him, if I ain't mistaken. McCaffrey and McCaffrey didn't have a bad game.
No.
Against the Ravens, he didn't have a bad game. But Brock Purdy, which let me ask y'all this: has the MVP become solely a quarterback award now?
Of course it is, and it's ridiculous to me. But
yeah, I just saying like
it has.
It's just the quarterback.
I think
they
say the last one who won it was Adrian Peterson.
Right.
It's ridiculous. Was that?
Yeah. So
how many years ago was that?
That's been some years.
10 years ago.
Back, yeah. There got to be at least a decade when he was on top of his game.
Yeah, that's a joke, man.
Yeah.
That's a whole joke.
Yeah.
Because I know a few weeks ago, they were talking about so it was the 10 years, 2012, 2013 season.
McCaffrey is legit.
Yeah, but I know a couple. Yeah, definitely McCaffrey's legit.
He's legit.
I know a couple weeks ago, I was hearing people saying that Tyreek for the Dolphins, the wide receiver, should be a candidate. I mean,
he surely should have
2,000 yards.
Totally agree. He should be.
He should be a candidate for MVP.
He still should be a candidate.
Yeah, he still should be a candidate for sure.
Yeah.
But you don't hear people throwing his name out there. I heard it a couple weeks ago, and I was like, yeah, and it wasn't even that he was a candidate. It was like, why is he not being touted as an MVP candidate?
Right.
You know what I mean? With the numbers that he's putting up, and he's putting up some crazy numbers. And you know the thing with him too. Remember when he left Kansas City, and and he signed with the Dolphins, and people was it was about the money thing or whatever. And he came out and he made the statement that Tua was accurate, the most accurate quarterback that he's ever played with. And you remember the ridicule he took for saying that, and making a statement like that. You leaving Patrick Mahomes and you going to this guy and you talking about he's the most accurate quarterback. That guy looked pretty damn accurate to me.
Yeah, he is.
He looked pretty accurate to me. He looked like a pretty solid quarterback, in my opinion. And so I mean, you leave Patrick Mahomes. Yeah, I get it, but Tua looked like a pretty damn good quarterback to me. And he seemed to find that guy pretty regular.
You know what, fellas? I don't know if you catched it. I watched, Dolphins probably caught like 5 of their games this year. And McDaniels, first of all, he's a smart young guy.
I like him.
He did something this year that a lot of people probably didn't catch. Because and we talked about this last year on your show. I thought Tua should retire.
Yeah, I remember you said that.
I still think he should retire. I haven't gotten off that. It's just too dangerous in my opinion. But what McDaniels did, he changed the offense. Number one, he has a lot of weapons. But you notice, even on his pass plays, Tua doesn't keep the ball long. This is such a timing offense where it's like drop back, 2.5, 3 seconds, the ball's gone. And I think a lot of that is protect Tua. And because he's so accurate, the Dolphins game is a lot of slants and there's a lot of screens. And it's a lot of quick, deep balls because of their speed. Because he's dropping back 3 or 4 steps. And if he goes deep, them guys are so fast, he throws up. Perfect time, and they're going to run under it. And I think they're going to be back. Along with Brock Purdy and the 49ers, I'm picking them to meet the Ravens in the Super Bowl. That's been my pick for 2 months now. I'm not getting off that ledge. I think Purdy is a damn good quarterback. I think Lamar's the MVP. And I think they're going to meet in the Super Bowl. If I had to pick right now.
Yeah. Well, maybe playing on a neutral field will help the 49ers out a little bit. Because playing in San Francisco didn't do them any good.
Oh, man, come on, Kenny. Don't drop that jinx on us, man.
He ain't going to throw 5 interceptions.
See, this is why I don't like Ravens fans. Not you, Kenny. This is why I don't like I can't stand Ravens fans. Because we start winning, and then they get arrogant, and then they mess up the mojo.
Hey.
They mess it up every time. And I'm like, I'll be like, I'm one of them people, please just get to the Super Bowl. Don't nobody mess up the mojo or nothing.
I'm embracing the petty in me.
Well,
that's all this is. I'm just embracing that, man. I've been so humble for 51 years now. I'm 52. I just want to be petty as much as I can.
I can dig
it. And don't really care who don't like it.
I can dig it. I can dig it.
Yeah, I like petty. Petty kind of feel good sometimes. Yeah, let's talk about Joe Flacco, because you wasn't here when we talked about him.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, Joe, man, is playing inspired football. He's playing, I mean, as well as I've seen him play in the last 10 years or so. From a guy that was on his couch, a month ago, month and a half ago, he was sitting on his couch, hopeful, wanted to go to the Jets when Aaron Rodgers went down and the Jets didn't reach out to him. I guess familiarity, he was familiar with the Jets, having played there last year, and felt like it would have been a good situation for him to go back into. And sometimes, man, it's all about the timing. It's all about timing, and he went into a situation, man. I mean, Cleveland, number one, they defense is right there with the Ravens defense. I think, they top 5 defense in this league. They get after the quarterback, and so Joe come in there. He got some weapons on offense. He got some guys that can go out and make some plays for him. The line is taking care of him, because we know that Joe was not quick of foot. You know what I'm saying? But they're giving him room and time to make plays. He's throwing a few interceptions, but for the most part, they're taking care of him. And we know from history, man, when Joe got time back there, he can slice the defense up pretty good. So I'm happy to see him doing well. Just from a Ravens fan perspective, and knowing what he did for this team and this organization, for the city. I said it earlier. I'm definitely looking forward to the day that his name is up there in the Ring of Honor. But until then, he's the enemy. You know what I'm saying? And he's on the plate. And if we happen to run up against Cleveland in the playoffs, he will be on the menu. And I'm expecting them to get after him just like they get after everybody else, and the Ravens to come out with the dub. So that's just me. But what's your thoughts on Flacco, Cheese? You weren't here when we talked about him earlier.
Yeah, I mean, Flacco gonna always be a Raven. And a few things I know. That arm travels and will go anywhere. He still got that arm. His arm has always been electric. And I know this second thing, you give Flacco time in that pocket, he's dangerous. He's more dangerous than the average quarterback if you give him time. A lot of times you say you give any quarterback time, they're going to, Flacco's, when you give him time, he's going to make it happen. And number 3, he's a streaky quarterback. And we've seen it quite a few times over his career in the Ravens. He will go on a 4, 5, or 6 week run where he's the best quarterback in the NFL. That's not even a doubt, whether it's during the regular season, beginning of the season, or postseason. He has the capabilities to go on a 4 or 5 week run where he's fantastic. And I think the Cleveland Browns lucked up and got him, because if it wasn't for him, I don't know if they'd be in the playoffs. I really don't. He's made that offense much better, especially since they lost Nick Chubb. And even with Amari Cooper being injured the other night, the dude still threw for 300 and something yards. And I think I'm happy for him. Like you said, they play the Ravens. Obviously, I want the Ravens to win. But that dude, man, I'm not going to sit here and act like he's not capable of taking Cleveland or helping them go to the Super Bowl, because he is. He really is. So, I mean, but I agree with you, Kenny. He played the Ravens. I mean, he's an enemy for that day, but he's going to always be a Raven. I mean, you know, yeah.
Shea, what's up? Happy New Year. Happy holidays to you.
Man, and you know, when it comes to Joe Flacco, man, I like what he's doing with Cleveland. I think it adds a nice dimension to his career, because kind of since he left the Ravens, he hadn't really been doing too much in some of those chances he's had with the Jets and whoever he's played for. He hasn't really had much of an impact, but he's having an impact now. And I think this adds a nice dimension to the to the career that he had with the Ravens, where he was a Super Bowl winning MVP quarterback, and if it weren't for Lee Evans, he'd have been in that Super Bowl again.
Ain't that the truth?
He'd have been in another one. So, so he's had huge moments in his career, and here he is with this team that has a Super Bowl caliber defense, and apparently they've been protecting him pretty good. And like Cheese say, if you get a man time, he has proven over the years that he can hurt you easily if he has that time. So. And then another thing, I think that Joe Flacco would love to play the Ravens in the playoffs.
He sure would.
I think he would love to beat the Ravens and play in front of the Baltimore fans against the guy who, you know, succeeded him at the quarterback position with that phantom injury that they threw on him while his hip was hurt. And so I know he wanted to come back. And then when you got a guy like Flacco, who has played in the big games, a lot of times, you know, going through preseason and going through the regular season may not be that exciting for him. He needs to be into some big time football, and that's where he is now. He's into some big time football with a team that is a playoff caliber team and a team that definitely has a shot to go to the Super Bowl. So I think he's in his element. Big time football, and a guy like him, I think he needs that. But at the same time, my thoughts are I would rather see Cleveland with Joe Flacco than see Cleveland with Deshaun Watson.
Yeah,
that's my thought. But proud of Flacco, proud of him, and you know, Baltimore is forever grateful for those great years that he did have in Baltimore.
Yeah, man.
Indeed. But he's on the menu. And
it was kind of nice, man, after the Jets game when Mosley went over to Flacco after the game and got his ear and said a few things to him, you know, like, man, where are you getting this from, man? You turning back the clock or something you saying to him.
Yeah.
Ravens.
Yeah, that's good, man. You know, it just you know, from like you said, man, the last few years, man, Joe's looking like he's pretty much done. You know, Denver. He was with Denver for a year or so. The
Mm-hmm.
Jets. Was it another team in between?
It seemed like it might have been, but
Yeah, it seemed like I might be missing somebody, but
he was bouncing around a lot.
yeah, because
Mhm.
I think he started the game when the Ravens played the Jets a couple years ago, the first game of the season. I think Flacco started that game, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
So we did get a chance to see him.
And things don't bother Joe either, man. That's a
Nah,
good.
nah, nah, man.
He don't get upset. He
Nah,
be sitting
man.
over there on the sideline. You can't tell whether he winning by 40 or losing by 40.
Mhm.
He was taking a nap the other day, wasn't
Yeah, it looked like his eyes was closed. They say he over there snoozing,
he?
But that
but
go
winning.
that go yeah. But that go to show he and like you say, he's been there, done that, and
Yeah.
he's won at some of the toughest places to play in the NFL.
hmm
Mm-hmm.
And
hmm
yeah, man. I mean, I would not be surprised if we had to play Cleveland somewhere in the playoffs. I would not be surprised.
Not at all.
And bring him on.
That
Yeah.
would be cool if he had to come here and we even
He have
obviously
to.
like I say to beat him, but it would be cool to see him come back playing well in the playoffs and we beat him. But that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Say, the enemy must go down and he must go down hard. Joe, we love you, but you must go
Yeah,
down, brother.
yeah, yeah,
It will always love you, man.
We
So
always love you. But
yeah,
we'll see you at the Ring of Honor
yeah,
ceremony.
yes,
yeah.
yes, we
I
will.
know that's right. Good point, Ken.
Yes, we
Yeah.
will. Yes, we
Maybe
will.
he can bring out the shield, the little shield. They remember how they bring old players back to
Yeah,
bring the
yeah.
shield out or something. I know
That's
So
Suggs
it.
look,
did it a couple of things.
I
Avery
was
did it.
I was there when Suggs got in there
Yeah.
a month or so
he's
ago.
yeah. So somebody I thought I read somewhere where they were honoring Ray Rice today.
Yeah, that was the day I
Yeah,
heard.
yeah,
That was
yeah,
today. Yeah.
yeah.
What's your thoughts on that?
I'm a little I don't like it. I don't like it, man.
Well,
I don't,
hold on. I gotta hear this.
I
Give
don't
me your
like that.
thoughts, Kitty.
I don't like it.
Why?
I don't like it. I don't like it. I mean, man.
Uh-oh. You must have been thinking about this.
But because the way that whole thing went,
hmm
you know what I'm saying? The way that whole situation went down. Yes, it was terrible. Terrible that what happened between him and his wife. It was terrible. I just don't think, man, they gave him an opportunity to rehabilitate himself in a way that we've seen other players who've done worse, come back and get an opportunity to uh at least make an attempt to come back on the field and play. But not only the Ravens, the league shut him out. He never got another opportunity in the league again. So I just always had a sour taste about that, just because and him and his wife they did the work. They went through that thing together, and she's still standing by his side today. So I feel like sometimes we get to be a little bit, we get to be holier, more holier than thou, and we want to feel like we're taking a stand for righteousness, and we're standing up for women all over the world. We're just not going to tolerate this. And we're going to make an example out of old Ray. Now that's one way I look at it. The other thing I look at, right, and I kind of was on my own with this. I thought Ray was done prior to that. I thought he was already done. I think he had played his best because he was a workhorse for the Ravens. And running backs only had but a certain amount of mileage in them legs. And Ray Rice was he was a dual threat. He was a guy that could catch it out of the backfield. He carried the load. He was, he carried a hell of a load for the Ravens for what was he about 5-6 years in the league, something like that. I don't have it right in
Yeah,
front of me, but
something like that. Mm-hmm.
that last year before that incident happened, he wasn't getting his 4 to 5 yards of carry. He was, getting caught in the backfield, he was getting caught at the line of scrimmage a lot. He didn't seem to have that burst that he once had. You know what I'm saying? I felt like he was already on the back end of his career, and then that situation kind of, force fed his departure from the Ravens. At least I thought at least another team would have gave him an opportunity after he did maybe a suspension or whatever punishment was going to come from that incident. I felt like somebody should have gave him another opportunity, just to see if he could carry the load or make a roster somewhere else. But that didn't happen, and I know that he's been working with the Ravens in some kind of capacity over the years. I don't know what his official title was or what he's done, because you see him around, you see him at Ravens events, like the last few years during the holidays. You see, you see Ray Rice maybe at like the Toys R Us or the Target, when they take the kids shopping or something. So he's been around, so he's been around and been affiliated with the Ravens. But who was this? And he didn't kneel. Who is this? I need to know who that is. Because now you bringing up a whole
and he didn't even kneel.
you bringing up a whole nother thing there. That kneeling stuff. Don't get me started on that.
I wonder what the ladies, I don't know if Shia and anybody else, the ladies, I wonder what they think about the Ray Rice and him being honored today, and what they think about that.
Yeah, I'd like to know.
Yeah,
but I know Ray Rice is pretty popular with the ladies. Okay, he didn't kneel and he got the Kaepernick treatment. All right, I got you.
mm-hmm.
I got you. But I wish I could see who making that comment. I like to give people credit for the comments.
Yeah. I mean, the thing with Ray Rice is that the video footage was terrible.
Yes.
And I think the Ravens were actually gonna, it was gonna kind of get swept up under the rug a little bit.
Oh, CB.
Once that was CB.
CB made that comment. Yeah.
Once that video footage came out, man, that took that incident to a whole nother level.
Yeah.
And it wasn't going to be pretty from that point moving forward, because I think the Ravens, probably had made some kind of promises to him and that he was going to be good and this and that. But once the footage hit, man, it just changed the whole trajectory of that incident. And I don't think any other team was going to take a chance on him based on that video. And then you add that in with what you were saying, Kenny, about he was on the back end of his career. He had kind of lost. We had already seen the best of Ray Rice, and he was on the downslide in his career. So it was really unfortunate that whole incident happened. I'm happy that the Ravens were honoring him. I think that he's happy that he was being honored. And it got so ugly back then, man. Everybody was paying people money back for Ray Rice jerseys. I remember, and people were turning their jerseys back in. So it got real ugly. But just based on that incident that took place, at that time she was his girlfriend. They ultimately got married and are still together today. So I'm happy about them honoring him. I hope that people can forgive. She could, obviously, because she's still in there with him. So if she can forgive him, I can forgive him. And I'm glad they honored him. And I didn't like the way it went down before either, but I did understand.
Yeah. And with celebrities and entertainers and athletes and stuff, I think we know too much about them these days. I mean, it's the nature of the beast. You know what I'm saying? You're a public figure. You really don't have a private life. And if you are somehow able to keep your life private as a public figure, man, kudos to you. Because I hear stuff about people, celebrities, that I care not to hear about sometimes, man. We just got too much access to some of these people, and then having, been in public, and you see some, like you see Ravens players around town in different places. I just remember back years ago, I ran into Troy Smith. He was the quarterback backup quarterback for the Ravens a few years ago, and in a public place, we in the store, and I kind of said, "All right, that look like him," and I seen him somewhere before that too. So when I saw him the first time, I've ran into him twice. So the first time I ran into him was right after he got drafted to the Ravens. He came here. Um, he
Did you go
he
that mellow thing, Kenny?
yeah yeah yeah
He
yeah
was
yeah yeah
down there
yeah. That was the first time I saw him.
first time. Yeah.
That was the first time I saw him, and he kind of walked past where I was standing at the time, and I spoke to him, and just told him, I congratulated him on getting to the league because he was a Heisman Trophy winner, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just congratulating him and wishing him luck, and told him it's a lot of people pulling for him to do well, and he was kind of standoffish, kind of like, all right, thank you, but I'm trying to get over here. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't take it. I didn't take it no kind of way. I just kind of took note of it. But the second time I saw him was after that. I don't know if it was after that rookie season or maybe the second season because he had played a few games when I saw him, and I saw him at a place, and it was around holiday time. So no, it was after because the season was over. So it was after the holidays. The season was over. Uh, I saw him. He said, "Hey, what's going on? How you doing?" He spoke, and then I just kind of asked him like, "Well, how you feel about maybe it was at this rookie year because I was like, how do you feel about the NFL and the grind and all this that and the other?" And he just kind of said, "Man, I don't really feel like talking about it, you know, God." And,
For
and
real?
yeah, he's
Wow.
like, "Yeah, I don't really want to talk about it." And I said, "All right, I respect that," and I just kept it pushing. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So I'm like, that was one encounter with that was probably the most negative situation I've had with a athlete that I've run into. And I've told y'all stories about Orlando Brown. I've run into that brother quite a few times. We were so familiar with each other. He always spoke to me when he saw me, and he was the total opposite. Very engaging man. He tell me. I mean, he was a funny guy. You know what I'm saying? He hilarious dude, man. But he was humble because the very first time that I met Orlando Brown was late night. I don't know where I was coming from, and I'll leave it that alone. But it's like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, and I stopped at a Royal Farm to get me a Gatorade or something, and I saw it was a big stretch limousine parked out front. So I ain't really paying no mind. This downtown limousine, downtown area limousine. It could have been anybody. I go in there, and I see this big guy, and I'm a big dude. So when I see somebody that's a big guy, I'm like, damn. I guess that's how people when they see me, like, yeah, that's a big motherfucker there. So I'm looking at, I said, that's a big dude, and he had his back to me. So when I got my Gatorade or whatever, I came back and I saw him. Then he turned, and he was with another guy. I said, "What's up, man?" And I could tell you they've been drinking or whatever. They feeling good. Yeah, what's going on? And I was teasing them, man, about the I said I said you out here spending that lawsuit money, ain't you? Remember when he got the money for the referee threw the thing in his eye?
Hit him in his eye. Yeah.
Yeah, he got a nice little payoff for that. He cried laughing, man. He was real. He just he man, go ahead, man, go ahead with that. So he didn't take it no kind of way. He was real casual about it. Laughed at us, man. Go ahead, man. Whatever, man. you know, and so he was humble. You know what I'm saying? He was just like, yeah, you a regular guy like me. I'm a regular guy just like you. You know what I'm saying? And so he laughed about it. And then we would just run into each other because he had a condo in the downtown area, down like in Harbor East. So you would see him. He had one of them great big Hummers, like the big ones. The ones look like he should have been on the military somewhere. One of them great big joints. He had one of them. Then he had a big mate. What's the not the big bot? What's the other joint they be driving? The Rolls Royce, the Phantom.
Mm.
He had a big Phantom that you see him riding around the town, man. So, real good guy, but he was just, I'm just a regular guy, man. I don't trip off
No,
this
man.
money stuff.
I'm driving around in a 2002 Volkswagen Jetta right now, so I don't know about that. Shit.
You know,
Get you where you gotta go though.
That's
yeah,
what it's doing, you
yeah,
know.
yeah,
But
yeah.
that's a good point, man. I recall you talking about, bumping into Zeus 2 or 3 times, and even discussing Kyle Bowler and stuff like that. Seemed like he was a real good guy. He played some real good football for the
Yeah,
Ravens.
yeah,
Zeus
yeah.
did, man. Huge. So is he really about 6'8" or so?
Yeah. I look. I mean, he's taller than me for sure.
Legit,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's taller than me for sure. I'm 6'5", so he's definitely taller than me.
Do you think Ray Rice is gonna get up on the wall of fame out with the Ravens?
Wow.
Nah. I think a lot of people. That's why when people say, "Man, I wonder the Ravens should have got him, let him come back." And you made the point, Dane. I don't think people are brain dead or what. It's the video.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's the visual aspect
Visual.
of hitting that woman and knocking her out cold. Is why
Right.
he didn't play for the Ravens no more.
Mhm.
It's just plain and simple. And I don't know why people can't get that, because that's if anybody's job sees that visual, you're getting fired. Plain and simple, because you're getting locked up, number one. And most people ain't gonna want to deal with that PR. And you see the visual of him hitting her and knocking her out. And I know he's been on the right path for this long. But the visual of him hitting, that's why I wanted to see if any women were going to comment. Because all through social media, you see things like he should be playing in the league and this and that. I understand he was a talented brother, but that's the chances that you take when you get inebriated and then you hit a woman and you knock her out.
When he dragging her, he drag out of the elevator.
And see, that visual is what I can't say it enough. Then you hit it right on the nose. That's why he never played again. That's why, and I ain't blaming the Ravens. I ain't blaming no other team in the NFL.
No.
Kaepernick, that's a different situation. That's not even close to being the same situation. If you hit a woman like that, you knock her out cold, ain't no team gonna want to touch that. Oh hell no.
Right.
They're not gonna want to touch that.
No.
I don't care what kind of things he's done afterwards. In the year or two after it. Years later, he's far removed from the league, but whatever he did a year or two after that and make up for it, there's still not nothing that any team in the NFL gonna say we're gonna take on. It's just too many questions. Then you're gonna have all kinds of alphabet groups coming at you. Oh no, sir.
But I'm gonna tell you the fact that, in my opinion, he was done played a role in that too. Because if he had some gas in the tank, somebody would have kicked the tires on that.
See, I you know what, Kenny, you make a great point, and I don't want to dismiss that point, because you make a great point. He might have been on the downside, but I think at that point, when that video, that's just like with you go back in I don't know if it's the young man on Dallas or the 49ers. He had the allegations of, spousal abuse or whatever, and they let him come back. There was no video. It was no video at all. But you got this. Now you fast forward to now, you got teams in Major League Baseball who threw guys off the team with no video at all. Then come to find out the woman lying. So, but when you got a video showing that, oh no, sir, nope.
Well,
I knew when I saw it. I said he good as gone, man.
Yeah,
he was good as gone.
Again, if there's some value to be had from a team perspective, somebody would have kicked the tires on that. Look at how intense you think the conversations was with the Eagles when they were deciding to bring Michael Vick back, because that wasn't easy. we're just gonna bring Mike back. That wasn't an easy thing to do. And you had people protesting that thing and selling their season tickets, and they was done with the Eagles. It was some backlash for bringing Michael Vick in there, you know, and you know.
But Kenny, I tell you this:
I'm not an animal lover, so you know anything I say, just understand that I'm not an animal lover like some.
See, that's it. See, I'm number one, I'm an animal lover. Number two, I've never seen no video with Michael Vick. But I mean, I love animals, so but if there was a video of Michael Vick shooting dogs when they didn't win, I put $100,000 on it. He would not have been back in the NFL. I guarantee it.
But it was pictures of them dogs.
Yes, it was.
So it was pictures.
But it was no physical evidence like it was of Ray Rice hitting that woman. Then on top of that was a woman. I'm not going to compare her to an animal.
Oh. Right.
Don't
be calling her no bitch.
Yeah, that's a grown woman. I mean, shoot. I'm not going to equate her. But I'm not going to equate them two because now you're going to have us.
I'm not going to equate her to that either.
Yeah.
But you know,
and also, you know, when it comes to Michael Vick actually went to prison and spent time, and
he sure did.
Came out, and he paid his, you know, he paid the price for it by going there. You know, if Ray Rice was a little younger and still had some juice, you know, I think you know, a couple years down the road or something, somebody might have gave him a shot or something like that. But it was real fresh, and that video was ugly, man.
Yes, it was.
And I just don't think any NFL team was going to give him a shot, knowing what the backlash was going to be. Even them honoring him down there, man. The backlash that they were getting for them even honoring him down at the stadium today was huge, man. I was reading some of that stuff. I was like, damn. You know, some of the sports writers and everything. So that was pretty big, though, beating up that girl like that and dragging her and all that kind of stuff was tough to look at.
Hey, did you guys see the crowd reaction? I didn't see it. Did they welcome him back well, or
I didn't see it.
I didn't see it either. That was a question too. That was a question on wondering how was the crowd going to react to Ray Rice. Right. Yeah, I'm curious about that too.
And then again, on the street, let's keep it real. He's lucky to still be alive. Because if she had a couple of relatives who was about it, he's lucky to be alive. He really is. So that's another aspect where you got to say, you know what? You know, I hate to take it there, but that's somebody's family member.
Yeah, that's true. And it probably had a lot to do with her, probably maybe calming the waters down on that side because they were able to make it through. But you're right, man, because some people will react to that and you know, bring some harm to that dude.
That's right.
So hopefully they received him well. I like the idea of them doing that. I just hope that the crowd received it well. I'm okay with it. I think it was a good idea. And just the fact that, like you say, Kenny, he's been around the team. He's been doing some things. He's been around. So it's not like the team stiff-armed him totally.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, you know.
Good for Ray Rice.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Maybe,
you know what?
Maybe we can get Ray Rice on here.
Yeah, let's call him up.
That'd be cool, man.
Because you know what though, and I think this may have been the test to see if we can, as a team, can we honor Ray by putting him in the Ring of Honor. You know, we're gonna give it a test run. We're gonna see how bringing him back and honoring him. And what was the honor? So what? Because I didn't really need to get into what. So what exactly did they do today?
He was the game legend for the day. Every game they honor a legend.
Okay. So he was just a legend. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So you know that could be a test
Ravens
run,
legend.
You know? Yeah. That could be a test run to see how he was received. at this we're gonna honor him in this way, and then maybe down the road they go ahead and throw him in the Ring of Honor.
Very popular.
If this went well from a team aspect, then say okay, let's go ahead on and throw him up there in the ring because he was ring worthy. In his years here, he was Ring of Honor worthy. So it's not like it wouldn't be like saying yeah, let's throw Kyle Bull up there.
I mean, Ray probably the leading rusher in Ravens history, maybe.
I thought Jamal Lewis was.
Oh, I forgot about Jamal Lewis. Man, how can I forget about that guy?
Yeah, and I'm sure he's in there.
Oh yeah,
Jamal got 2,000 in 1 year. So
man. Oh man,
one of the most underrated running backs in NFL history.
Yeah,
big and fast, man.
Yeah.
And he was a pleasure to watch, man.
Oh yeah,
just to watch that boy run, man. Yeah, Jamal Lewis is Ray Rice is second.
Yeah,
I don't know. If, Jamal Lewis. I don't know if you guys saw it. I watched when he was at the combine that year when he was coming out from Tennessee, and they do the 40, and they said, "Oh man, he's 240 pounds."
He
And
still
this dude
ran.
He ran a 4.35. I said, "You got to be kidding!"
Yeah.
And I know the Ravens were salivating, like, "Please let him." And he showed up because we got in the open field. They ain't catching. That was real speed, man.
He had breakaway speed.
So look,
especially when it's healthy.
Jamal got 7,800 yards, 7,801 yards rushing in 91 games. Ray Rice has 6,180 yards in 92 games. So Jamal played one less game and got
1,000.
Well, guess who number 3 is?
So probably Lamar.
Lamar number 3, huh?
LJ.
Yeah, I would. Yeah.
Wow.
Let me see.
Yep.
Is it up there? Yep. Lamar got.
Gus Edwards got 673,000 yards.
No, so it's I tried to copy and paste it. It didn't come out right. Let me see. So Gus got 67 games. He got 3,200.
Nah, I get you.
Yards.
Yeah. Okay.
Lamar in 85 games got 5,223 yards.
Okay. Yeah.
And I don't even think this includes today's game. Whatever Gus and Lamar did today.
Yeah.
But so I mean, let's say I mean if we go on at this pace, Lamar Jackson gonna be the all-time leading rusher in Ravens history after in another couple of years or so. If he keep at the pace that he's at, because he's only 2,000 yards behind them guys now.
Wow.
7,800 and Lamar got 5,200. So you're talking about 2,500, 23,000 yards short. Yeah.
Probably another 4 or 5 years, maybe.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Lamar Jackson, LJ8. Shout out to Lamar, man. God damn.
Yeah.
Shout out to Lamar, man.
Yeah. We don't know what we looking at.
No. You think endorsers are gonna be lining up this year to give Lamar some money?
Man, I told you this last year. I blame his team, whoever he's with, besides his mother, for the contract, because I think that was a great job. There's no way in the world this dude shouldn't have any endorsements right now or the last couple. Nah.
I agree.
Yeah, you ain't got. I mean, nah. He's electric, and even though I'm gonna tell you this and see if you guys agree. To me, he's more of a fan favorite around the league than he is for a lot of bandwagon fans here. That's like I say, I go around the country, I see Lamar jerseys on people.
There's a thing, I think it's in the Bible, about coveting another man's wife.
Whoa, where we going with
something
this?
Like that? And there's something like that in the Bible. I ain't well versed. I know it's something to that effect in the Bible. Ravens fans have a tendency to covet other quarterbacks.
Oh, my fault. I didn't know where you're going. I'm getting ready to
Yeah, that was the point. I was making
about. Whoa.
But they got a way a
This
tendency
is
to
a
want to,
lifetime channel for
you know,
that.
yeah, they got a tendency to want to covet other people's quarterbacks. You know.
Well, why you get cheese that material, man?
I don't know. I ain't know where you're going. I was like, we need a commercial break on this one.
Nah,
You drop that, cheese gonna jump on that one.
I didn't arrived at the point. You know, I didn't arrive at the point.
Dang. This HBO at the dark. What Kenny to turn this show?
Yeah, you know. Hey, them dudes, man, they like to look at the other quarterbacks and man, I sure wish we had one of them. You know, and you got a prime timer in your backyard, but you looking over there at what's going on the other team. I sure wish we had that. You know.
Yeah, a lot of times, boy, you just don't. A lot of times, even in a household, it could be daddy in the household who could be a great dad, and sometimes the children can extract that goodness and greatness from the father, and maybe some of the other kids can. A lot of times I see that happening. You have your children, and I feel like I'd be seeing that with myself. I have my kids and raising them up, and then I think maybe sometimes being so close and accessible that that thing of being taken for granted happens. Mm-hmm. I think Lamar Jackson may be just taken for granted in what he's been doing because the guy been winning. If you look at his record, the guy absolutely been winning. Mm-hmm. And, I think they taking him for granted. I don't think they really see what reality is with this guy.
Oh, it's clear.
They don't see reality.
It's clear because I'm telling you, man. It's people. I got the receipts, man. Damn it. These guys was talking about this dude gonna flame out in 2 to 3 years. Just enjoy it while you got it. He'll be done in 2 to 3 years, and I'll be glad when this experiment is over. And all that kind of talk, man. And it's because you're not understanding what you're seeing, because you're seeing something different from what you're used to seeing. You know what I'm saying? And even a guy like a Michael Vick, who was probably the closest thing to Lamar that we've seen in the NFL, man. It was people trying to get him to. He should be a running back. He shouldn't be he's not really a quarterback. You know what I'm saying? He's just an athlete. Everything to do to kind of limit or to take away, exactly what you're saying.
Did he win an MVP?
He did.
Huh? He did one pick, right?
Yeah, he got one. Yep, he got one. 2007, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, he got one. But the thing is, with we marvel and we talk about, think about 10, 12 years ago, we kept talking about how fast the defenses were and how fast these big defensive tackles, these big 300-pound guys, they running 4.5s and all this crazy stuff. We talking about how fast these guys are getting. It was inevitable. At some point, the quarterbacks was going to have some speed to get away from these guys.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? If nothing else, they was going to have some more foot speed, to evade getting hit by these big guys. Because you can't just sit back there and be a target and you got 300 pounds coming at you. And Rich Gannon will probably be a poster child for that. Saragusa hit him with the bing bing. All that weight coming down on him and pretty much ended the Raiders season. I don't think they would have won the game with him. But you have to have the game had to evolve that way. And I think Lamar is the exception, because not only does he have the foot speed, but he can throw the ball and he's elusive. You know what I'm saying? He just a kind of a rare breed, So you're gonna see some copycats. You're gonna see people want to see that, especially if the Ravens go out and win a Super Bowl or two, or they just continue to have the success that they having with Lamar Jackson at the quarterback. His success rate is inevitable, is undeniable. You can't deny, the guy's a winner. You know, they win way more than they lose when he's the starting quarterback. They score more points when he's back behind the center than anybody. You know, I don't care who you put back there. The Lamar Jackson is just going to account for more points when he's behind the center. You know, and so again, like Dane said, man, we are being treated right now. This is a treat, man, to be able to watch this young guy in our hometown, man. We've been lucky, man. I know I said this a couple of times on the show. Just from the standpoint of the Ravens coming here in '96, under the circumstances that they came here, you know, having been a city that lost a team, to get a team in that same way that we lost a team, you know, with a lot of fans, it wasn't like all right, welcome in, you know, it wasn't the welcome right in, right? It wasn't that type of situation. So all right, cheese out. Yeah, so to get Lamar on the heels of a Jonathan Ogden, a Ray Lewis, a Ed Reed. You know what I mean? I mean, we talking about three of the best of the best of the best at their positions. And they played at an extremely high level the whole time they were here. You know. And then, you know, you add a Suggs and Jamal Lewis. And I mean, come on, man. We've been blessed from a fan standpoint in this short time that the Ravens have been here to have had some extremely, extremely, extremely talented, gifted, fun to watch football players, man. Blessed.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I really agree, man. And again, I think people don't really fully see what's happening before us.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, when I think about what Lamar did back in 2019, I think that his second season when he won an MVP. That was his second season. And you know, the whole running thing that he was doing with the Greg Roman's offense was still pretty new to the league. It was they hadn't really fully adjusted to it. So for him to break the record for rushing yards in that season and also lead the league in touchdown passes was some phenomenal stuff that had never, ever been done before. And we may never, ever see that done again. But for him to come back in 2023 and to win it again, this is people know who he is now. People have adjusted to him being able to run, people, all of that stuff. But for him to come back and win it again the way he's doing it this year is really super impressive, because it takes that novelty thing away where he was running all over the field. And, you know, that whole thing of him being a running back and he's not really a quarterback and all this kind of crap. This is a legitimate MVP. I don't think one of them sports writers talk about him being quarterbacky or not. You know, this is, for him to come back and win it again, man, is off the charts. And that's why I say people don't really understand what we're looking at with this dude. Now, we all know, you mentioned some of the greats who've played for the Ravens. I'm saying right now, not only from a football standpoint, but I think when Lamar is done, is all said and done, he will be the biggest Baltimore athlete ever. He's surpassing Ray, he's surpassing Ed Reed, he's surpassing Brooks Robinson and Cal Ripken and Johnny Unitas and all these dudes, man. When this guy is done, man, he is going to be the biggest sports figure in the history of Baltimore, because I see Super Bowl in his future and maybe multiple Super Bowls in his future. And he's huge, and those statues that they got outside that stadium, they just need to make some room right now for his. Right now, just pick a spot right now. And he's just been such a game changer, man, for the city, man, for what he's done.
Oh man,
He is huge, man.
oh
And,
man.
the games he play on national TV, they get super high ratings because people all over the country want to see this guy. And all the haters, and there's plenty of them. And I think that, Lamar Jackson was lacking in endorsements because of probably multiple things. I think, the way he carry himself, the way he has his mother as his agent, not getting the agent, the way he's he's straight up brother, from
absolutely,
South Florida now.
Absolutely.
Yeah, ain't no mistake,
And
man. He ain't no Patrick Mahomes
Yeah.
or
Baker Mayfield on him.
he ain't none of that, man. I mean, he's straight, real humble guy though.
I think, I wish Cheese was still on, but I think it's bigger than just his team not finding them opportunities for him. I think there's some other stuff to play in that.
Yeah, it's bigger.
I think it's a bigger situation, and
even
the fact that he's not represented traditionally.
Yeah,
what I mean, by agent and the agencies and all that type of stuff, man. I just think, man, a player of his stature to approach that thing the way that he did with his mom being his representative, he kind of rocked the boat in that way.
Absolutely.
That all of the banter that was going back and forth last year when the contract wasn't getting done, and all the people that had all this stuff to say about if he had an agent, this wouldn't have happened and that would have happened, and they would know this and this would have happened, like all of the stuff that they were saying. And again, after listening to Lamar and DeCosta and them guys talk after the deal got done, was that things were happening behind the scenes the whole time, and I think because he didn't have a traditional agency behind him who plays the game, the media game. So you know how they do, man. The sides start leaking stuff out to try to get leverage and all that stuff. So, his people, man, his team, whatever it consisted of, I know Mom is the leader of the team, but they played that thing close to the vest. And really the only comments that you heard out of them was when he came out and said he wanted to be traded. But they didn't go out throwing numbers out, and you hear all these reports about Lamar turned down this money and they offered him this and he turned that down, and he was refuting all that stuff. Like, man, that stuff ain't never happened. We all getting this stuff from.
You talking about some guy supposedly representing him was behind the back doors talking to people, all kind of crazy stuff.
Yeah, man. So I agree, man, that we are being treated to something, man, that you just got to enjoy this thing while we got it, because you may not ever see anything like this again, and to again, like, we've been looking for a middle linebacker since the Super Bowl, and we had CJ Mosley was decent, the current guy, number 0, Smith, is close.
He balling.
But he ain't no Ray Lewis.
No, he ain't that.
He not Ray Lewis, but I mean, he tough.
He is tough.
You know what I'm saying? And he fit exactly what this team needs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He fits exactly what this team needs. So, replacing them legends like that, man, is not an easy thing. It's not something that you can just do. Well, we just, that old next man up. Yeah, that stuff is nice to say. It's cute. But the next man got to be able to play a little bit.
People don't know what they're looking at. They don't know what they're looking at, man. Because this guy, Lamar Jackson, I mean, the dude is still young, man.
Yeah.
He's going to have 2 MVPs already. And Lord, if he win this Super Bowl like I think he is this year, I'm just saying, man, the potential of this guy is off the charts, man. And when it's all said and done, man, this dude, man, is going to be. I have him as the biggest sports star in Baltimore history. when he's said and done. That's where I'm looking at him. I don't think that any of these other guys will be able to contend with what Lamar Jackson is going to do. I mean, I don't know, man. John Unitas, I don't know how many MVPs he had. The only other quarterback I can recall, and the only person that I could even begin to compare with Lamar Jackson and Baltimore football history is Burt Jones. And Burt Jones was a quarterback, was super talented and won the MVP with the Colts. But he wound up getting injured. His arm got injured, and it kind of fizzled out his career. But this guy, Lamar Jackson, man, I'm just saying, man, his career is on a trajectory that will have him as the greatest Raven ever. And in my mind, a chance to become the greatest Baltimore sports legend ever. And also an opportunity for him to even wind up on Mount Rushmore of football. That's how much talent this guy's got. That's what he's showing this year with that arm. That's what he's shown with his.
So I looked it up. Johnny Unitas did get MVP in 1959. He had one MVP. I think he was the Golden Arm Award winner in college. 18 seasons in the NFL. So Lamar Jackson is in some rare air, if you will. He's in some rarefied air. There you go.
Yeah, but when I get a phone call, man, it knocked me off.
Oh, knock you on out. Yeah, I looked it up. Johnny Unitas won one MVP.
He won one? Okay.
Yeah. 1959.
The future, man, the sky's the limit for this guy, Lamar Jackson, man. And I think, bringing in Monken to fit him, it's just opened up things, man. And, man, there's nobody in the NFL that I would trade this guy for.
Nah.
Nobody.
Nope. Not one. He's the guy.
He's the guy.
He's the guy right now, man. and I'm gonna go to bat for him. I'm gonna go to bat for him, and I got a little tired of fighting for this guy because I'm like, man, what are y'all not seeing? What is it that I'm missing? I just didn't understand. I mean, I'm looking at the win-loss record. I mean, he said he win like 70-something% of his games that he start. The scoring is up when he plays. I mean, the guy's 20-1 against the NFC.
Unreal.
I mean, come on, 20-1, man, against the NFC. So, I don't know what more you want from him. I don't know what more you want. Yeah, you won the Super Bowl. But you can't win it until you win it, and only one team wins it every year.
And those injuries, man. Even last year, man, I thought that the Ravens were primed for a Super Bowl run. But Lamar was out. He wasn't able to get it back and come back in and help that team. But to me, if you put Lamar Jackson up under center for that team last year, I think they make a serious Super Bowl run last year.
Yeah.
And that's why I was so convinced this year that these Ravens were the best team in the AFC based on them bringing Roquan over halfway through the season. And Lamar and Roquan never really got a chance to play, the rest of that season out. They played two couple of games together. So as long as Lamar can stay healthy, this guy's going to be making Super Bowl runs for years to come.
Absolutely, man. So I'm just like, I'm here for the ride. You know what I'm saying? I'm here for the ride, and I want to see where this thing is going to end. And again, you see greatness. We've been blessed to see some greatness in the short time the Ravens have been here. And this is the next one up. This is the next guy in line, and he is must see TV. every Sunday. There's no place that I'd rather be than right here in front of my television when the Ravens are playing. I'm still a little salty about missing the first half of that game when they put up 30, was it 30 something the first half against was it Seattle?
Yeah.
Somebody when I had to take my daughter somewhere, that I was a little salty, man. And
Oh yeah.
I got home and the rest of the game was pretty average. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, the guys must see TV. The Ravens are perennial. And let me say this. Let me bring this up while we're here. Cause Harbaugh, man, is a guy that a lot of people like to beat down on. They like to beat him up for whatever reason. I'm a Harbaugh fan. I'm a John Harbaugh guy. I'm he wins more than he loses. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he don't make sometimes he makes some questionable decisions. But sometimes, man, as a coach, you go with the feel. You go on a gut instinct sometimes when they complain about going for it on fourth down, or a couple times he made some challenges that was a little questionable. I mean, I get all of that. But at the end of the day, man, Harbaugh is a guy, man, the players love him. He was able to weather the storm, if you will, through coming in here and he had dominant personalities here with Ray Lewis and Ed Reed and them guys, man. And he was able to figure that situation out. Because if you remember when he came here, part of the thing was, them guys were out of control. They were running the inmates running the asylum, as they say.
Yeah.
And you needed somebody to come in here and control those guys because they were running the locker room and this, that, and the other. And I don't particularly buy into that type of way of thinking. When you're talking about grown men, you're dealing with grown men, adults. You know what I'm saying? I don't know about controlling them and all that kind of stuff. That's a little bit over the top for me. But you got to figure out how to work with them. You know what I'm saying? And he seemed to figure that out pretty quickly because the Ravens were playoff team pretty much from the time he got here, and Flacco was a rookie. You know what I'm saying? So they had a solid defense, and Flacco was charged just don't F it up.
Mm-hmm.
Don't F it up. And so them early years, man, it was over. I mean, it was good. It was good, man. It was good to watch that progression. They got the Super Bowl in his fourth year, fifth year, something like that.
Something like that.
Ray Lewis retired.
Right.
Ed Reed moved on, and so
Oh.
the team began to take on his. He began to have a little more influence on who came and who didn't, who stayed and who didn't, and I mean, he was big on that Lamar Jackson choice, from what I understand. He was very influential on that choice. So, Harbaugh take a lot of beating in town. Again, they covered other people's the shiny new toys, if you will. The hot new assistant. Everybody wanted just imagine. Can you imagine if what's the guy was the hot coordinator at that time that came here and he ended up turning it down to go back to Dallas?
I don't know, Jason Garrett or something.
Jason Garrett.
Yeah.
Imagine, can you imagine if he became the head coach? Like, it don't even make sense now. I think we'd have been looking for a head coach again in another 3 years if he'd have took that job, because he was the guy they wanted.
I remember.
He came in and interviewed, and he left. He went back to Dallas. He decided he wanted to go to Dallas.
Yeah, he kind of turned it down. It seemed like.
Yeah, he turned it down because he wanted to wait on that Dallas job, and I just don't see it going the same way if he was the head coach versus what happened with Harbaugh. I just think Harbaugh was the right guy, even though he wasn't the first pick. I felt
Right.
like he was the right guy, man. And I remember vividly, when he interviewed for the job and he came out, and I think this was before he got the job, but he came out and did a press conference and just talked about his experience interviewing with the team and that process. And I just remember riding around I was working, listening to the radio, and I heard it, man. I said, man, he sound like the next coach. I just liked him from the beginning,
Mhm.
and so the rap one was, well, he's just a special teams coach, and we need an offensive coordinator. We need a football coach, and again, we get into the semantics of, you know, this guy was a defensive coordinator, so he gonna be defensive minded. Or this guy is an offensive coordinator, he gonna be offensive minded. At the end of the day, the head coach got to be football minded. You got to know how to manage all that stuff.
Absolutely.
Even though he came from one side of the ball or the other, you got to be able to manage everything. And you still hear people today. I heard it in today's game when I think it was the first half, and when when the Dolphins were ready to punt, and I think the Ravens had called a timeout, and they were talking about, man, Harbaugh calling a timeout. He's a special teams guy. Maybe they got a block punt on. Some kind of
Yeah.
play for a block punt. But like, man, he been a head coach longer than he was a special teams coach, man.
Right.
You
Right.
know what I'm saying? Like, at what point do he shake that label? This man been a Super Bowl winning head coach at that, and been to multiple AFC championship games. So it's like, come on, man.
Yeah, I mean, and being a head coach, that's a tough gig, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's a tough gig, and the fact that he's lasted as long as he's lasted is proof on how competent he's been as a coach. I mean,
Yeah,
he's been around a long time. Um, I think Harbaugh is a great coach. I think he's headed for the Hall of Fame as a coach.
absolutely.
And I think that just the fact that he had the fortitude to bench Joe. Joe Flacco was benched in
Yeah,
favor of Lamar Jackson through the middle of the season because his job was on the line then.
yeah. Oh, for sure,
It was on the line.
for
So he
sure.
knew, he understood the atmosphere at that time, and he made that move. And he adjusted his team. I mean, to me, some of the great things that he's done is when he let that Wink Martindale go as the defensive coordinator. These guys been with each other for some years. They were really good friends. Then he sent Greg Roman packing to bring in Monken. So I thought that he did an excellent job of hiring Mike McDonald as his defensive coordinator. He did an excellent job of picking this guy Monken as his offensive coordinator. So when you think about all of that, and I do sit back and I'll point out him having some issues with some clock management and things like that. Man, but these are small things, man. These are
Mm-hmm.
tiny things, to talk about how he mismanaged his timeouts or the clock, or he challenged a play that they're gonna challenge anyway,
Right, right,
making some
right, right.
bonehead moves like
Yeah,
that. But these things are small, man, when you think about that. And then when you hear the players speak, he has their respect.
yeah.
And that goes a long way in being a successful coach. You have the respect of the players. You
Mm-hmm.
have the respect of the general manager and the owner. So John Harbaugh has been highly successful as a coach. And when it's all said and done for him, that guy's going to Canton.
Oh yeah, yeah. Ain't no doubt about that. Ain't no doubt about that, man. And again, you know, I just, you know, that whole thing with the hot assistants and we fell into that trap with Brian Billick. He was this offensive thing, offensive guru, and but Randy Moss and them guys wasn't coming with him.
Nah,
You
Chris
know what I'm
Carter.
saying? Chris Carter, them dudes wasn't coming with him, man. And
Right.
and see, I've said this thing. I threw it out there a couple years ago, and I was just talking about sports in general. But name me a coach, a great coach that didn't have great players. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, man. I mean, because
Right.
if you take an average players, you got to have some ball players. Now, you can't just have talent. So I'm not just saying that. I'm not just saying, well, they only great because they had talent. No, you got to know what to do with it. Because there's some
Mhm.
coaches that's had hella talent and couldn't get out couldn't get out their own way. But you have to have talent. You have to have talent in order to be a decent coach, at least.
Yeah.
I mean, how great of a coach is Phil Jackson? Do we really know how great Phil Jackson is? Because he's always only had Michael Jordan, Kobe, Shaq,
Yeah.
you know, and Coach K, another guy, man, that's had some great players, man. I mean, he's had some great players down there at Duke, and he, he's a hell of a coach, and that's why great players want to go play for him.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the two go hand in hand. Belichick was considered a genius when he had Tom Brady up there with him. Man, he was considered a genius. Remember, he was getting rid of players when they still was kind of in their prime. And
Yeah. Yeah.
oh man, I mean, Belichick is, man, he's ahead of the curve. He getting rid of these guys, and they still got some years left. And he's stocking up the draft. I mean, they looking at all these moves that he made, and he was hitting on them. He was hitting on these moves,
Mm-hmm.
but he had old Tommy back there, man. You know what I'm saying? And when you got that, it make your job a whole lot easier.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When you got that guy back there at the quarterback, it make everything that much easier, man.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
You know.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
so I, I'm excited. Today, we beat up on the Dolphins. I saw somebody said there was a fish fry in Baltimore and they were serving dolphin. Dolphin was on the menu at the fish fry today.
Uh,
So
they did take the cameras and highlighted the National Aquarium
yeah, I saw that. I
and
saw
went on inside and showed the dolphins off.
that. Yeah, the Dolphins was on the menu.
Right.
They fried them up. You got your fish sandwich,
Yeah. Yeah.
a dolphin sandwich, if you will.
Right.
So, we number one in the AFC, we got the bye. We locked that up today. So, again, we got a decision to make whether we're going to play the starters, who going to sit. And you can't sit everybody. Everybody can't sit. Somebody got to play.
Right.
So you don't have the luxury of saying, well, everybody off today. No, there's not the league, the roster is not set up that way where everybody get a day off. You're gonna have to somebody gonna have to play. So like
I
I
think
said,
the Steelers going to be playing for something. They'll still be battling for the playoffs, I believe.
yeah, I think they still got an outside shot
Yeah.
of getting in. And again, Mike Tomlin, another year where he's not gonna have a losing record.
Yeah.
And just a couple weeks ago, they were talking about he needed to be fired.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, I I'm just not in that boat of firing somebody or trading people away and all this stuff. Be so emotional, man, and oh, he got to go. They got to go. The organizations that get it right, they usually don't panic when there's some adversity.
Yeah.
They kind of figure it out and say, all right, we'll ride through it. And they look at the Steelers' biggest problem right now is you know, I think they held on to Roethlisberger too long, and they didn't have his successor in waiting. You know, I think that set them back. You know, holding on to Ben a couple years too long, and not having the successor kind of in line waiting, and it's kind of setting them back because they drafted Kenny Pickett, and he hasn't seemed to put a stranglehold on that job.
Yeah.
As of yet. Now I guess he in his third year.
Yes, I think so.
Second.
Yeah.
I know maybe third year. So, and he haven't seemed to lock it in. I think the Steelers are being in the market for a quarterback this offseason. Now, will they draft a quarterback and go after a guy like a Russell Wilson to be a stopgap, or Joe Flacco as a stopgap?
Right.
You know, because I think that's the road they probably go. They'll probably get somebody as a stopgap type of guy and draft a guy.
Yeah, I think so.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the biggest thing with, probably the biggest mark against Tomlin is that transition from Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah.
It wasn't done quite well enough, and they've struggled without, that quarterback, that guy. And Kenny Pickett, I think they drafted him in the first round.
Yep.
If I'm mistaken. He hasn't really proven at this point to be that kind of guy. And, when you got a Ben Roethlisberger, he's going to take you places. He's that kind of a caliber quarterback, that talent. Kenny Pickett, he haven't really shown to be that guy. So that's the one thing that is haunting Tomlinson at this point. And so he has to try to regroup from that. First of all, he was a guy. I mean, that guy was from University of Pittsburgh.
Yeah, right there.
So he was right down the street.
Played at the same stadium.
Very familiar with him.
Yeah.
So to be able to bring him in and him not do that well, I mean, he's shown some flashes and he's been, okay at it. But I think when you talk about Lamar Jackson and Deshaun Watson, and Joe Burrow in the division, Kenny Pickett is like not quite on that level with those guys. So I don't know. He drafted the guy, so he's gonna have to come to a conclusion on whether he gonna stick with the guy. I remember it was a guy named Brian Billick that stuck with what's that guy name?
OKB.
KB. Yeah,
KB.
He stuck with Kyle Bowler, and it destroyed his career as a coach. Yeah. And I've heard him say it while he's commentating. He said that was the thing that destroyed his coaching career. He said he stuck with that quarterback too long, and he never got any kind of opportunity ever as a coach.
Nope. I think he went on one interview.
He went on an interview.
I think he went on one interview after that. I remember that.
Yeah.
And it was a few years after he was fired from here. It wasn't like right after. It was like a couple years after.
Yeah.
And then nothing. He was a commentator, and I don't even think he commentated no more, is he?
I haven't seen him.
I haven't seen him. Maybe doing some media somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. But it's you got some good young quarterbacks coming up, man. The kid down there at USC, the kid down there at LSU, the kid at Florida State that unfortunately got hurt prior to the bowl season. You got some good solid quarterbacks that's coming up over the next couple of years. Deion Sanders' son, Shador. Shador's going to be a pro. So it's going to be interesting to see, how the league begins to change over the next few years, man, at that quarterback position. It's just an exciting time, as a sports fan. I know it's a lot of talk now with the NIL and all the stuff that's going on with college, where these guys are making enormous amounts of money. So there's no rush for them to come to the NFL at this point. They can kind of get a bag in college and kind of work that system for a couple of years and you know, you can kind of play it by ear. You know, you can look at the season and say, well, uh, you know, if all things go the way they're going, you know, this team is gonna get the number one pick, and I don't want to go there. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you got guys say, well, I got another year, I just go back to school, you know, to avoid even the possibility of them drafting me. So, you know what I'm saying? And I'm all right money wise, you know. So you got all that stuff playing into it. I know there's a lot of discussion right now about that. I know change is not good for a lot of people. A lot of people are not good with change and the fact that college players are making money and they're able to jump in that transfer portal and move around. And you know, it's like the like I said a little while ago, the inmates running the asylum. You know, and a lot of people don't like the fact that these players got that kind of control and they got this kind of even in the pros, you know, with the NBA players, you know, that's the big thing with LeBron and them guys that they found a way to work the system to where they had control of where they were going, and teams kind of were kind of hopeless, clueless, you know,
Yeah.
because these guys figured out the loophole in the system and made it work for them, you know. So, you know, we so used to the teams controlling these guys and uh, you know, controlling the narrative and telling the fans, you know, that you know, this player is greedy, you know, and he doesn't care about this team. You know how they do.
Mm-hmm.
They turn everybody against the players, and they use the media to their advantage to get those agendas out there. And you know, there go Jason Garrett right there. I done talked him up. Yeah, on TV. He not on the sidelines. He commentating.
Okay.
You know. But I saw something else too with the speaking about the media, right? And how they talk about the hot new assistants, how they help these guys get jobs, you know, so they'll train the camera on, you know, the offensive coordinator for the Ravens for say, and they just, you know, he's gonna be a fine head coach at some point, and they keep boom boom boom, they keep throwing the camera on him, and then his name starts circulating, and so all people know is he's the offensive coordinator for this team, and this team is doing X, Y, and Z. He got to be the next guy in line. He got to be, you know, and I don't think it's as cut and dry as that, because again, I use Brian Billick as the example. You know, he was the hot assistant. You know, the Minnesota Vikings had record breaking offense that year, and then got shut out in the playoffs against the Giants.
Right.
You know, they were 15-1, weren't they?
Yeah, it was 15-1, and they lost in the playoffs. Their kicker missed the field goal.
Yeah. Ain't that something? The kicker.
Right. The kicker.
With all that offensive firepower they got, and the kicker lost the game for them.
Lost the game.
Unbelievable.
Hadn't missed a field goal all year. He was perfect during the regular season.
Yeah, I kind of remember that now. Gary Anderson.
Yeah.
I remember
that. And missed the field goal.
Yeah. But you know, when you, I remember, I remember when Luke Walton got a job. He got a head coaching job at where did he go? The Sacramento Kings.
Somewhere else, yeah.
And remember he sat in for Steve Kerr while Steve Kerr was out for length of time. I don't know if he had some surgery or something. But he was set out for a good while that season, and Luke Walton was the interim coach. And he did such a great job. His win-loss record was such and such and such and such. And I remember when he got that job with Sacramento, I think it was Charles Barkley to say, yeah, he got that job with Sacramento, but Steph Curry and Klay Thompson ain't coming down there with him.
Right. You're right.
So we're gonna see how good of a coach he is, You know what I'm saying? When he don't have them horses down there with him, man.
Yeah.
And again, you know, yeah, being the hot assistant is good, but personnel matters, you know.
Yeah.
And so, let me throw this name out there because shit, we didn't get to talk about this. I know I made it. I did a video on it a couple weeks ago, and I threw it out on the Facebook group. Eric Bieniemy, who a couple years ago was the hot assistant, you know, with the Kansas City Chiefs, you know, and it was the thing where he wasn't. It was said that he wasn't getting a fair opportunity to get a job as a head coach.
Yeah.
You know, and so they kind of did him the same way they did Marvin Lewis here, was to go to another team, and same team to be. It's kind of crazy that it's the same team that he went to. Go where you have a little more control over the offense, you know, where you can kind of set yourself apart from Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, for God's sake.
Yeah.
Who, in my opinion, was always the offensive coordinator, no matter who had the job. Andy Reid is one of the most creative offensive minds we've seen in this league ever, in my opinion. You know, and that go back to his days with Philly, all the way up to now with the Chiefs, man. Some of the stuff that them guys run is so much. It's almost ingenious, man. Some of the way he lines his guys up, and I mean, man, Andy Reid come up with some great offensive schemes, and his teams always seem to be able to get the ball in the end zone.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but Bieniemy, was it a matter of him being with Andy Reid and having Patrick Mahomes? And because I don't think he'll get an opportunity to become a head coach at this point, especially based off what's happened in Washington since he's been there. You know, he nothing close to what happened in Kansas City, of course. You don't even hear his name anymore. You know what I'm saying? But again, he benefited from, number one, being on the staff with Andy Reid, who again is probably the greatest offensive mind that I can think of, and having a great quarterback like Patrick Mahomes. You know, so that having those two things will make you look like a pretty decent coach.
Yeah, I think so, man. And I mean, the same thing that Charles Barkley said, you can say it about the enemy.
Mm-hmm.
Patrick Mahomes didn't go with him.
Mm-hmm.
Tyreek Hill wasn't over there with him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I think with the enemy, I know that his name was mentioned even with the Ravens.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I did not want him
Right.
as the coordinator with the Ravens. I for some reason he was not the fit that I think that the Ravens needed. But he's going to have to prove himself without being with Andy Reid. He's going to have to prove himself without having Patrick Mahomes. And if he can't prove himself, and he hadn't done it yet this year down there in DC, he who knows what may happen to him in his career. He's certainly not going to get a head coaching job if he can't stand on his own as an offensive coordinator. And he was with Kansas City, but like,
He's still on mute. Nope. Wait a minute. So he muted right quick. So yeah, Bieniemy, I don't think he'll get another opportunity at a head coaching job. I don't think at this point. You know, I think his best chance was when he's with Kansas City. And now that he's over in Washington, nope, still can't hear you. Still can't hear you. So he's over. He's been at Washington. I think this is his second year over there, and he's you know, not having that success. No, I still can't hear you. You might gotta go out and come back in. Getting this troubleshooting right quick. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Take them out right quick. Yeah, still can't hear you. But yeah, Bieniemy, I don't think he'll get enough opportunity to be a head coach in the NFL at this point. You know, I think his window has closed, and you know he hasn't done anything to he hasn't done anything at this point to say that he should get another opportunity. I don't think. You know, I think his window's closed, and you know that whole hot assistant thing. You know, you
Yeah.
kind of got to ride it. Yeah, I can hear you now. I can hear you
Okay.
now.
Good.
But that whole hot assistant thing, you got to ride it while the stove is hot. And once that flame get turned down on you, it's hard to heat that thing back up.
Yeah.
You know, and I think Bieniemy, his flame is flickered out, and his opportunity to be a head coach is kind of gone by the wayside. I believe.
Yeah.
I believe. But I love to see him get a chance, but I don't see it
I
happening.
don't see it either. Yeah, I don't really see it. And like you say, man, as good as the Chiefs were, winning multiple Super Bowls, and he's an offensive coordinator. If he didn't get a job as a head coach at that time, I mean, he's never going to be in a predicament where he was when he was rolling with the Chiefs. I mean, for him to be with another team that win multiple Super Bowls as an offensive coordinator, I mean, chances of that happening are pretty slim.
Slim, yeah.
And, you know, when you are, and I think that there is some kind of, I think he's interviewed for head coaching positions, but he just hadn't gotten them. And I think that there's something with him that just, I mean, I don't think people feeling him. These coaches feeling him, and so he may have absolutely blown his opportunity for head coaching position.
Yep.
He didn't get it with Kansas City. I don't see him getting no opportunities either.
Yeah, because I didn't like it. I didn't like the fact that they felt Marvin Lewis needed to go somewhere else before he got an opportunity to become a head coach. I didn't like that. I thought that was some nonsense.
Me too.
I thought his resume was good enough. And I've heard people say, well, he was the defensive coordinator, you know, under Marshall Broder, and those defenses were horrible. But I mean, you gotta look at the personnel too. You know, you can't make chicken soup out of chicken. You know what?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you have to have players. You know, again, name me a great coach that didn't have great players.
Right.
You know, and I mean, I'm off tomorrow. You know, now we're not gonna be on air all that time. I ain't got nowhere to go tomorrow, and I'm sure that we couldn't find a coach that didn't have some great players that became a great coach. It's just not gonna happen.
Wow.
You know, it's not gonna happen.
In the words in the words of the great Johnny Church, he said, "I'm a mechanic, not a magician."
Hey, that's probably one of the most classic lines
I'm telling you
I've ever heard in my life.
He like, what I'm supposed to do with this crap up in here? I'm a mechanic, not a goddamn magician.
Man, and if I had something to drink when he said that, it'd have been all over. It'd have been all over that parking lot down there.
Exactly.
And but it's just facts. You know,
it's facts, man.
It's facts, man. You know, you cannot sprinkle some dust over the situation.
Can't do it, man.
And make it be what you want it to be.
Those were some profound words he said. It was funny.
Yeah.
It was hilarious.
Yeah.
But what he said was profound.
And he was known to say some pretty profound things in his own way.
Yes, he was in his own way.
That you know,
the late Johnny Church.
The late Johnny Church. And we talked about somebody that people don't have a clue who we're talking about.
I know. Yeah.
Could you imagine if he was to know that me and you was on TV here?
Oh man.
Could you imagine some of the profound things he would be saying?
Boy, you wouldn't hear the end of it if you went down in the hole to get your car fixed.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I don't know who signed up for that.
Hilarious.
They got y'all two together.
Right.
Yeah, cause you know, all I had to do was say, Dean, Kenny, I thought you was my friend, man.
Right. Right.
You was doing just fine till you brought that name up.
Oh, he was hilarious.
Yeah, I don't think I can finish working on your car now. I'm going home.
Yeah, he was funny.
Yeah, that dude was a character,
That
man.
dude was a character, boy.
Classic, man.
Yeah, he was something, boy. He was something.
Yeah. So any I guess, you know, it's 10 o'clock. It's 2
Yeah.
hours away from the new year.
At that time, yeah.
I'm assuming you're not going out tonight.
No, I'm not going to. Nah. I ain't going no further than the kitchen.
Yeah. You know, man, you remember the time when you know, a night like this, we had to be out.
Oh yeah.
You know, to be in the house, what?
Yeah, I remember them days.
Yeah, man, I got to be up out of here. Where it's going down at.
Right.
You know, and be in the mix.
Yeah, well, I think that might be part of you know, youthfulness.
Yeah.
You know, back then, and although there's still a lot of folks, you know, and our generation that still are like that.
Mm-hmm.
I know quite a few that still can't miss the party.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, but it is what it is. I'm not out there. I only remember the last time I went to a New Year's party.
Yeah, me neither. I was just telling somebody yesterday.
Yeah.
I haven't been out on New Year's since the 90s.
Yeah.
The 90s. So
me
you
too.
talking well over 20-something years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 90s, man. I've been
Probably
bringing them in the crib.
Yeah.
You know, safe.
Yeah, and I don't miss it.
Nah, I don't miss it. I had fun.
I don't have no urge to go out there.
I
don't.
Nope. I had a good time when I was out there. I had a great time, but I don't miss it at all.
Yeah, that time is gone now.
I don't miss it at all. You know. So man, yeah, we're going into new year. You know, any goals for the new year? Any things you working on?
Well, I mean, I just think you know, I think for everybody, I think we need to, you know, make 2024 the greatest year of our lives. I think that go for everybody. You know, wherever we are in life, we just got to take that thing to another level.
Yeah.
2024. I don't know. I understand that in 1890 and 1965 and 1980 and whatever, that 60 minutes is 60 minutes.
Yeah.
And 365 days is 365 days. A year is a year, no matter where you look at it, and an hour is an hour. But it just seemed like time is sped up, you know, and it's just that with technology and all kind of things happening, there's so much more you can get done in an hour than you could previously. So I'm saying people should go into 2024 taking advantage of every kind of technology that there is, and to make this year the greatest year of their lives. That's where my mind is.
Absolutely.
Whether it's exercise, whether it's diet, whether it's educating yourself, whether it's getting into your money a little bit, keeping an eye on your money, whatever it might be. There's so many things to do, but make this your greatest year ever, and that's my mindset.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that, man. And you know, same, man. I'm looking to do some things professionally. You know, I'm working on something right now that'll take me to a different level professionally. So that's in the works. That's outside of the sports mix. I'm looking to do, you know, take the sports mix to the next level. We started with the logo and got some merchandise. If people want to get some t-shirts and hoodies and stuff, hit me up. I can get that to you. So just branding and really taking the show to the next level, man. Really, really learning more about this whole podcasting space and really branding myself and the program and really growing the situation bigger than what I imagined it could be when I first started it. Again, I know we talked when I had the anniversary show a couple months ago, just about really just sticking with it, even at times when I wanted to say, man, I'm done with this. I'm ready to move on to something else. Always just something inside me that said, keep going, keep fighting, keep hanging in there. And I get a lot of excitement out of just being able to share my opinions on different things and talk about sports in a way. When I got the fellas on, we can have some little back and forth and we have some fun with it. Cheese and Brooks and them guys, man, with the the sparring and all that stuff, man. I mean, it's good stuff. And my thing is really, I'm not a resolution type of guy. You know what I'm saying? I don't really look at because every day is an opportunity to start something new. It's not about the calendar year. I guess we kind of get caught in that the new year, new start, all that stuff. But every day you wake up is an opportunity to restart and do something that you didn't do the day before. So I think and going into this year, which is tomorrow, starting to the new year, just really trying to expand myself, from all aspects, man. Just being a better person, being a better podcaster, being a better, being a better father, everything. Just want to take everything to the next level, man, and really do things in a different way than I have, because sometimes too, I think we look at things and we think too small. We kind of put limits on ourselves without really understanding that's what we're doing. We kind of limiting ourselves, and so I just look at some of the things that come to my mind, some of these thoughts that come to me, and I know that these things don't come to me for a reason, and you as well. These thoughts that we get, they're not coming to us for no reason. They're coming to us because this is something that can get done. And that's the vision. That these thoughts that come to me, whether it's with the sports mix, whether it's with coaching basketball, or whether it's other business ideas, they come to us for a reason. And the time now is to really dig into that and take that thing to the next level, man. So I'm looking forward to growth, and I'm trying to grow in some ways every day. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to say I want to grow this week or this month. I want to grow every day, man. And whatever that look like, whatever growth looks like each day, I got to put that effort towards it. And I think that's the biggest thing is the effort. Is sometimes I know that I can procrastinate. I'm pretty good. If they gave out a trophy for that, I probably would get that every year.
We be jockeying for that one.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a professional procrastinator.
Yeah, I'm real good at that.
So I got to do better in that area. But yeah, I'm looking forward, to the new year and the new energy, man. And
oh yeah, yeah, I'm excited.
Got some things that I got to work through.
Yeah, I'm excited.
But at the end of the day, yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm excited that just even putting some things in place and writing down some things that I want to do, and looking forward to being able to do those things. So
yeah, I want to give a shout out to to Karan and Jashley. We have my new granddaughter came into the world yesterday.
Oh man, congratulations.
Yeah, Evie. Evie Randolph is now on the planet. So
Okay.
that's grandchild number 4.
Yeah. Y'all rolling over there.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I see,
Yeah.
don't nothing seem to stop that kind of activity.
No.
Right?
Yeah. So holidays around your house gonna be pretty active.
Oh man. Sheesh.
And they are relatively young.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
5 years to one and all the way down to 1 day.
Yeah. So Kendrick is the veteran in the house now.
Oh yeah.
He kind of running things.
Yeah. He's He's the senior.
Yeah. That's all right, man. Congratulations, Karan.
Appreciate that. Yeah, definitely.
And young lady.
Yeah.
It's funny, man. We watch these kids, man. Karan, of course, is your son, but I got them photos, man, when they were little teeny kids, man.
Oh yeah.
And all them guys. I was just talking about them guys. I seem to always be talking about that group of kids.
Mm-hmm. We done seen them on the football field. We done seen them on the basketball court.
That group right there. I just seen like Big Rob's birthday was a couple days ago.
Yeah.
I saw his, on Instagram. I wished him happy birthday and stuff. But just seeing pictures of him, like, man, I remember Rob was a little kid, man. This dude is 25 years old now, man.
Might when the weather get a little warm, man, might have to have a reunion.
Yeah, that'd be nice, man.
Yeah, might have to have a reunion, man, out somewhere at the park or something or whatever.
Yeah. Terry just had another baby.
Yeah, I heard he up at Overly.
He up at Overly. Yeah. I tried to get him to come over there with me.
Todd too, doing a little coaching. I think Todd coaching for JV.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they all doing their thing, man.
Yeah, Terry reached out to me to write him a letter of recommendation.
Yeah.
I said, well, damn, I didn't even know you was back in town. I'd have gave you a job with me.
Right. Exactly.
You wouldn't need a letter.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I wrote the letter for him, man, and anything for them guys, man. Anything for them guys to see them doing what they doing, and
yeah, man. It's amazing, man. At that time, hear them guys 26 and stuff, 25, 24, and man, and we was rolling when they was 6 and 7, and
yeah, man, they were little teeny kids,
right? 9 and 10 is like, wow.
I still got the visual of Ramel, man, in your lap at the barbershop every week, man. And not saying a word. Ramel was quiet, wouldn't say nothing. But in your lap every week, and now, man, how old is Ramel? What, 28? 27, 25? 26. I know so he younger than Kenny. Yeah, Kenny is 28. Yeah, but I mean, man, these guys grew up, man, and they out in the world, they, grown ups.
And he's still in my lap.
Well, hey, man, you may not never be able to shake that.
I ain't gonna be able to shake that one.
Yeah, you may not never be able to shake that one, brother.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, but we're gonna wrap it up.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Big Rod, and we say, what's up, Big Rod? Happy holidays, brother. Father Time is undefeated. He slow rolls you. You right.
You right about that.
You right, big fella.
Yeah. Definitely.
And Rod, don't forget, Rodney. Let me know when you want to get your shirt. I got your shirt waiting for you. Thank you for the support, big bro. So whenever you're ready, we can link up. And I got that right. Get that right to you.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we'll wrap this edition up. Next week, I guess we do a show after the Steelers game. That's a day game, right?
I think
or is that a night game?
I'm not even sure.
Let me check. Because if it's a night game, we can skip that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
Skip that.
I don't know what it's gonna mean to the Steelers.
Let me see.
My daggone voice, man, is about gone.
Yeah. Let me see. Ravens, Steelers. Oh, so the time haven't been determined yet.
Okay.
So they don't know if they're gonna flex it. I mean,
Yeah.
there ain't no need in flexing it. We already got what we need. So
Right.
let's the Steelers, like you said, they could be fighting for playoffs, but I know they still in the hunt.
And yeah.
They still in the hunt. So then, so probably next week it's gonna be some games Saturday. During this time of year, they play a couple games on Saturday and Sunday, and then it'll probably be a Monday. Any thoughts on the college playoffs starting? The games are tomorrow, right? The college football playoffs tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't know. I watched a little bit of Maryland in the bowl. They beat up on Auburn.
Mm-hmm.
One of the big things was Georgia and Florida State. And Florida State was an undefeated team and did not get picked for the playoffs, and there was an outcry about that.
Yeah.
I think Georgia beat them 63-3 or something.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
It was such a blowout, unreal.
Yeah.
So right now we're looking at Texas. Who else?
Texas. So Michigan and Alabama play.
Michigan and Alabama,
and then Washington and Texas play.
Yeah, I'm thinking we're gonna have a Texas Alabama final, and we'll see. I don't know. I've seen Michigan play a couple times.
I like Washington.
You like why? I haven't seen them.
I like Washington. I've seen them a couple times.
Yeah,
They're pretty solid.
Yeah,
and I think with them, they're not benefiting from being in Washington. Being all the way across the country in the Northwest. They don't get the coverage.
They don't get the love. Right.
They're not getting the love and coverage that the Alabamas and Michigans and even Texas is getting.
Yeah, I haven't seen them.
Yeah, I've seen them a couple of times. I actually saw them against Oregon.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I saw them against Oregon. I saw them against Dion and them.
Mm-hmm.
And they're pretty solid. And they got a left-handed quarterback. He is tough. Man.
I think these games are worthy to watch. So I'm curious to see these teams play, and I like the playoff system.
Yeah, Rodney is a Roll Tide guy.
Yeah.
So
Roll Tide.
And it was a little mess with them getting in it.
Mm-hmm.
With them getting in and Texas getting in with one loss, and Georgia had one loss. That they didn't get in. And they're the defending champs, so they didn't get an opportunity with one loss to defend their championship. And next year is moving up to 8 teams, I think.
Yeah,
12. I think it's 12 teams. So we won't have this mess next year,
right?
Because you'll have more teams, and whoever the 10th or the 13th team, they won't have a chance anyway.
Yeah, I know. I know USC and UCLA and Oregon. They all coming to the Big Ten.
Mm-hmm.
I looked at. They showed Maryland's schedule. Maryland won't be playing Ohio State. They won't be playing Michigan. They'll be playing USC and Oregon on their schedule. So the Big Ten is going to be a little different.
Yeah. And what's it about 15 teams in there now?
Yeah, it's pretty big league, man. Pretty big league.
Just before we check out, I'm looking at this Green Bay, Minnesota game, and Green Bay up 30-3. They just scored. This kid Jordan Love, man. He look like he gonna be pretty decent. The record don't indicate. They 7-8 right now, but look like they're ready to win this game. To be 8-8. But he sat behind Aaron Rodgers for what, good 3 years.
Yeah.
Waiting his turn, and he finally getting his opportunity. He looked like a player. In the couple games that I've seen, he looked like he's a player. I haven't seen. I really paid a lot of attention to what they actually need to be contenders moving forward. But he looked like he gonna be a player in this league. And as we talked about the Steelers a little while ago, I think that's where the Steelers dropped the ball. They didn't have that replacement for Big Ben and waiting. Kind of waiting until he got out of there, and then they tried to replace him. I thought that was a big mistake. But good for them, because they're in our division, and I don't want anything good to happen to the Steelers ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think I think the key word for the guy Love you mentioned is opportunity,
Mm-hmm.
and he's gotten that this year, and I think he's gotten better as the season has gone along because I think he's really getting acclimated to being out there, and maybe next year it should be looking pretty bright for him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's tough following a guy like Aaron Rodgers.
It is. It
Yeah,
is.
not
It
easy.
is. It is. Yeah. So we're gonna wrap this one up. Thank everybody for tuning in, commenting. Had a good show, spirited as usual. Ravens again. Ravens, man. Ravens are the number one team in the AFC. They made some tuna fish out of the Dolphins today. Fish fried them.
Yeah.
All that stuff.
That's right.
Slapped up on 49ers last week. We didn't get to talk about that one. So
right.
Two very impressive wins in a row
Mm-hmm.
against teams who some of the experts said would have beat us. And the one guy they've been catching hell all week said that the 49ers was gonna beat the shit out of us. Some shit he was saying.
Yeah.
Rodney, you right. Number one in the NFL. Let me not shortchange them.
Right.
Let me not shortchange them guys. They number one in the whole league. The league got to come see us.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? I like that, man. I like being the number one guy.
And my mind haven't been changed at all during the regular season. This Ravens team will represent the AFC in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. And I got it on tape to prove that you've been saying that.
Yeah.
Since week one.
Week one.
You ain't wavered.
I ain't wavered at all.
You ain't wavered. So Mike Florio said that.
Mike Florio, said all that crap. Yeah.
You definitely haven't wavered. You've been saying that since the first week. You've been on it. So I think Eric DeCosta and them dudes need to have you down at the parade.
Yeah.
They might need to have you on a float,
If EDC, if you watching, I will accept if you make that offer to me.
They goddamn right. and you might need some security, so I'll take that.
You got to invite the whole sports mix crew.
Yeah, we there. With hoodies on and everything.
All of that.
Yeah, we in there. Yeah, we in there. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So thank everybody for tuning in. Hey man, listen. Happy New Year to everybody.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Happy 2024, man. Let's make 2024 like you said. What you say? You gonna make 24? What you say, Dean?
Hey man, you gotta make it the greatest year of your life.
The greatest year of your life. 2024.
2024. Make it happen.
Make it happen, man.
You can do it. Just make it happen.
That's it.
Yeah, you can do it. Greatest year of your life. Period.
I'm with you.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, family. Peace. Yes, indeed.